hospital, 5 of them in stable condition and 1 in serious condition. A spokesman for Jacksonville's Memorial Hospital said they were treating 3 victims, all of whom were in stable condition. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
The chimpanzee spends most of its day in the jungle, carelessly swinging from tree to tree and picking mites off itself, instead of building shelter and teaching itself how to read. This chimp is named Bolo, and researchers at Duke University have shown that he can solve 3-dimensional logic puzzles. An impressive feat indeed, until you learn that human children as young as 3 are also able to solve the puzzle. Even a mentally handicapped human is capable of verbal speech, something no chimpanzee has ever been able to accomplish, despite working vocal cords capable of howling in irritation after soiling itself. Chimps have been observed using tools, but their tools are little more than sticks. Even driving and preparing pancakes, tasks we leave to the stupidest, least educated humans, lay beyond the capabilities of the chimp.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live, and you can bring up whatever is on your mind. Welcome to the program. Another week of fun here. Open phones as always. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Or Discord is available to you. The Discord on-air call-in line rooms are wide open for you. If you want to sound like you're sitting here in the studio with us tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
To join our Discord server, you can go to discord.lrn.fm. Once again, that's discord.lrn.fm. And by the way, I did do a prune on the Discord server this weekend. We had almost hit 1,000 users, and I thought, you know what? The Discord server's been up for 6-7 months. We started in, I guess, 8 months. We started in January, and so we almost had hit 1,000 users. But I wanted to prune out anybody who hadn't logged in the last month. There's like 3 time frames that you can prune. Basically, you can prune anybody who hasn't been in the last month, anybody who hasn't been there in the last week, or the last 24 hours. So I chose the last month, so that way we can keep the membership rolls fresh. I want to have as accurate a representation. Like if you logged in January, hated it, and then left and never came back, you really don't need to have an account on the server. You know what I'm saying? If you want to come back, just make a new account and try to come back in once a month, because I will do occasional prunings. So now we're at 591 members, which means all of those people have been there within the last month. So thank you to everybody who's used our Discord server so far. I think it's been a very successful experiment. People are there chatting throughout the day and the night, not just about Free Talk Live, but about other topics. So check that out at discord.lrn.fm. Let's go to the phones, to the fun. Ron is in New York State. You're on Free Talk Live with Ian, Melanie, and Mark. Hello, Ron. Ron in New York? Do we have Ron? Ron going once. Ron going twice. There may be some kind of an issue back at the network board. We will put Ron on hold, and we'll try Parker in Washington, see if he's there. Hello, Parker.
John McCain is dead.
John McCain. Yes, he is. Yeah. In fact, listeners of Questioning Authority.
John McCain is dead.
Didn't John McCain sing a little ditty about people dying once upon a time? Bomb, bomb, bomb.
Bomb, 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 Iran, yeah.
This seems appropriate to me, Parker. I would say that...
I don't relish the notion that John McCain is dead, but because he'll probably be replaced by somebody who's an equal statist. But
probably,
at the same time, I'm not shocked. I'm not horrified that somebody would be happy about it.
Yeah, I'm not particularly celebrating it just because it doesn't seem that significant to me, but I'm not opposed to celebrating the death of politicians and mass murderers and whatever. So.
He was an oligarch, so what do we care if he dies?
Oh yeah, I don't care. I'm just like, I'm not going to go out and buy a cake because he died.
Right.
When Walter Reed dies, I will.
Walter Reed?
Yes.
Who's that?
That the guy that named a medical hospital after?
No, different guy. The prosecutor of St. Tammany. I bought a cake when he got convicted, so I'm disturbed like that.
I see.
So I kind of agree. Like I don't like to spend my time celebrating somebody's demise. However, I also don't feel bad that somebody who's as much of a scum-sucking politician as John McCain has passed away. I guess it was succumbed to brain cancer, I presume. I'd heard that he had been diagnosed with that. I presume that was what the cause of death was, but I've spent about zero time looking into news about John McCain or his death. The only reason I know anything about it, really, is because it happened, I think, Saturday. And Vincent Vincent from Questioning Authority, which is the Saturday night show on LRN.FM, the one that follows Free Talk Live at 10 p.m. Eastern. Vincent had announced he had told me privately that he'd had a whole show planned out because it was his first show back on the air because he's a college student. So longtime listeners of the show may remember him as an occasional co-host here on Free Talk Live. But he goes away, from Keene during the summertime, and so this would have been his first show back doing it live from the LRN studio here. And he said he had a whole show planned out. Yeah, so he had a whole show planned out. And he decided to just chuck the whole planned show in the can so he could, as in his words, dance on McCain's grave for 2 straight hours. And that's what he did. He came in here and he danced on McCain's grave for 2 hours straight. So for anybody who wants to see a good grave dancing for John McCain, Vincent,
I can't believe you can get that kind of content out of a death.
I know.
It
depends on how much you hate the person. I mean, one of the benefits of having a large platform is that when somebody annoys you, or that doesn't seem as strong, but I can't say other things, then you can go on the air and be like, this person did this, and I'm going to talk about it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know how large the platform is on LRN, but regardless, it's there, and he used it. So anybody that wants to see that, I think it's only available on our Twitch channel right now in the archives, twitch.lrn.fm, although I think he forgot to name his show correctly, so maybe I should go fix that for him. Anyway, Parker, your any further thoughts on this you wanted to share, or were you just jubilant?
That was just jubilant, but I've got some further thoughts. So I have had some ideas I've ran past you guys in the past. Some of them were some not so great ideas. This idea that I'm going to share with you, not one of those bad ideas, I think.
Okay. I knew you were going to share an idea, and I knew you would think it was good. Go ahead, Parker.
Okay, so you guys are almost certainly familiar with Larken Rose's book, The Most Dangerous Superstition, right?
Yeah,
I've heard of it. I've never read it.
I read it when I was in jail, and for civil disobedience.
Thank you.
It was excellent.
I just like when I was in jail for all that stuff I did with.
It's more common to be in jail than you think.
Kangaroo and a Panama hat and a yak skin coat.
There's a lot of people who've been to jail. It's a pretty common experience in the United States. Well, but when I was in jail, I read it. It's all about, for listeners who are unfamiliar, it's a nice short book. And Larken Rose does a good job of really explaining the myth of the idea of authority. I mean, that's essentially the thrust of the whole book.
It's like 120 pages or something like that.
So what about it?
Really short. Well, really, when it comes down to it, all liberty comes first from the mind. If you are not free psychologically, you will never be free physically. Or if you are free physically, then it doesn't matter, because without psychological freedom, you can never have physical freedom.
Yeah, I would agree.
That being said, it's also of a extremely high likelihood, if not a absolute certainty, that everyone throughout the world is suffering from some form of Stockholm Syndrome. And,
can you define what that is?
Stockholm Syndrome is basically the psychological phenomenon when a person is confronted with a situation in which they are being oppressed by someone, and rather than seeing the relationship for which they find themselves in, such as the Jews during the Holocaust, any political dissidents in China or Russia, the Stockholm bank heist.
That's what it was named after, right?
Yeah, exactly. And after spending extensive periods of time with their captors, the hostages in the bank, they start to empathize with and identify with the bank robbers. In the same way that that people identify with the government.
Sure.
So
Well, I mean, they've been told their whole lives that we're the government. I mean, so there's this
here to help.
propaganda campaign that's been, pounding away at them for their entire lives, explaining to them this mythology that they are a part of this system. That you get to run for office if you want, or vote for the people who are running for office. So therefore, it's totally okay what all these abusers are doing to you.
Right. So it's that much more subversive than regular Stockholm syndrome.
That's true.
In that regard, but generally speaking,
have we gotten to the idea yet?
Yeah, we're just about to broach the idea. Generally speaking, the individuals who are best at treating Stockholm syndrome are psychiatrists, and I think that if I were to go to college, major in psychology, get a doctorate in psychiatry, and then specialize in Stockholm syndrome, both in terms of treating and in therapy and all that.
Is Parker going to say he could cure the world? I want to get to this here in moments. It's Free Talk Live.
Zencash is now Horizon. Horizon is a privacy platform built on zero-knowledge technology with a decentralized secure node architecture. The Horizon platform enables real-life uses beyond currency, including the ability to privately chat with other people. Soon, Horizon will enable you to publish information and go anywhere on the web, all with complete privacy. Horizon, bringing privacy to life. Learn more at Horizon.global. HORIZEN.global.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Do you operate a retail business and are looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier thanks to AnyPay.global. There's no paperwork or approval process to open an account. If you already have a tablet, you're almost done. Just sign up at AnyPay.global, drop your personal crypto wallet addresses on the setup page, and then load the app. That's it. You're accepting cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. Get started now at AnyPay.global. AnyPay.global.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
California is reeling from Super Rainbow Percival, which left a trail of devastation along the West Coast. A luminous band of destruction touched down in Santa Barbara. Percival set a record as the most powerful rainbow in U.S. history, with at least 30 confirmed fatalities and damage estimates in the billions. The vividly saturated colors seared through homes and roads, charring everything in its path. Those exposed to the rainbow's fury say they're lucky to be alive.
The sky was completely blue. All of a sudden, it's filled with brilliant hues of red and indigo.
All I can say is when I was a kid, rainbows didn't cut people in half.
Meteorologists say that Percival is just the latest in a pattern of increasingly dangerous rainbows, and that they're only growing stronger as global temperatures rise. Percival also comes on the heels of some extreme weather phenomena overseas. Authorities in the Philippines are still searching for thousands in the aftermath of mega sunset Wilma.
This is the Onion News Network.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want. All you have to do is dial in here toll free. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We've also got Discord. The Discord on-air call-in line rooms are available to you. Just go to discord.lrn.fm. You'll need the Discord app. You can grab that at discordapp.com. Install it, create your account, and then go to discord.lrn.fm to join the fun over there as we continue. Do want to let you know that Zencash is now known as Horizon. It's a privacy platform built on zero-knowledge technology. That's great privacy technology with decentralized secure node architecture. In fact, they have more secure nodes and supernodes combined than Bitcoin has full nodes in the Zencash system. Zencash, because they have so many nodes, means it's a very strong network. Essentially, the more nodes you have, the more impervious you are to ever being taken down. Go to horizon.global, Horizen. And by the way, Horizon is more than just crypto. The crypto is called Zen, but it also allows you to privately chat with other people on the Horizon network. And soon they'll allow you to publish information and go anywhere on the web with complete privacy. Horizon is bringing privacy to life. Learn more at horizon.global, Horizen.global. As we go back to Parker on the line in Washington State, listening online. Parker, you were telling us about Stockholm Syndrome, which, of course, we've heard of it before, but I asked you to explain it for listeners that maybe were unfamiliar.
Right.
Stockholm Syndrome, the idea that somebody who's a captive or a hostage will, over a period of time, they could become, they can identify with or empathize with their, I guess, hostage takers. What's the word I'm looking for here? Captors. They're oppressors.
Yeah,
They're captors.
Yeah, exactly.
And so if they, identify with them, then that can make separating them much more difficult, and it makes them do things that they otherwise wouldn't have done, in sort of defense of their own captors. And you were likening that to sort of what happens with people and their government, that they gain this Stockholm Syndrome towards their government. Even though the government is oppressing them, they will still say that it's a good system, that it's the best system in the world, that we're free or whatever. And so you were just proposing that you're talking about going to a government college and getting...
Not a government college, but,
well, they pretty much all are.
Well, if you're going to be in the U.S., there's only like 2 non-government colleges, and I don't think that any of them have
psychology
PhDs.
Right, so you wanted to become a doctor of psychology and then do what? We never got to your actual proposal.
Okay, so I guess I would have to go to a college that either gets government funding or something, whatever. Even if I go to a government college, I'm certain that government colleges teach people how to specialize in Stockholm Syndrome therapy and rehabilitation. So there's that. But that's essentially the crux of what I would like to try and do, because...
But then what will you do? Once you get the doctorate in psychology, what is your plan then?
Psychiatry.
Sorry, psychiatry?
Well,
wait, psychiatry is where you prescribe things.
Psychiatry is med, psychology.
He's going to get the degree in the bachelor's in psychology, and then go on for a master's in psychiatry, is what he said.
I missed that part. Why would you want to do psychiatry?
Because if I were to get a master's or doctorate in psychiatry, then I could specialize in Stockholm Syndrome therapy and rehabilitation. Then, from there, I could treat people who have...
but why would you want to dope somebody up to try to, solve the issue of Stockholm Syndrome? That's what psychiatrists do, right?
So you're confusing psychiatry with psychology. Psychiatry is med. Psychology
Who's confusing?
I think you.
No, that's what I was saying. Psychiatry is meds.
Okay, yeah.
That would mean he would be doping people up to solve their problem. When this is a problem you've got to solve at the root. You've got to solve people's beliefs and change those things. You can't just prescribe something.
Then maybe what I'm thinking of is psychology. Basically, what I would like to do is I'd like to be able to use the power of persuasion to and use a doctorate and all the understanding of the human mind in order to break through whatever.
Yeah, that would be psychology.
Yeah, so that would be psychology. Okay. And how is it going to happen that you're going to have a bunch of statists and or minarchists lining up in your office to pay you to cure them of their status Stockholm syndrome?
Well, for one thing, it'd be by referral. Once I have.
But why would somebody want to come to you? Like if somebody
if somebody doesn't think that something they're doing is a problem, they're not going to go have it treated.
Why does anyone who is a statist find themselves listening to Larkin Rose? It's because
Larkin Rose doesn't cost $120 an hour.
It would be total accident. I mean, if a statist encounters Larkin Rose, it would be because they saw a video online and happened to click on it for whatever reason. Maybe it had
somebody referred them to it.
Yeah, maybe it had a title that was attractive and they didn't know what they were getting into.
I mean, or they're questioning, and that does happen. That's more of what I cater to. But then they're not like. Then they don't really. They have less of kind of the mental issues associated with that at that point.
Yeah.
It is still there, but...
So this seems like a lot of money to invest for very little potential return.
Well, it's a pretty good career, and you can make pretty good money, and if you do it...
if you're a normal psychologist,
I'd like to have libertarians in every field, so I'm fine with this, and I support it, Parker. I would like to chasten Ian because of his ignorance and blathering on as he does.
What did I say?
The greatest achievements that are going on right now in psychiatry involve psilocybin, MDMA, and other psychotropic drugs, the sort of thing that you're all about. But you know, you just leave that behind. You're like, oh well, they give them drugs that I've heard that sometimes are bad. Well,
yeah. I mean, the psychiatrists are not able to legally prescribe the things that you mentioned. There's some advances going on where there's actually a headline here about the FDA approving some psilocybin trials for treating clinical depression, and that's great news.
Once he gets the degree, perhaps he could just set up a clinic in Mexico and have people fly there to meet him, or in Canada or something like that.
I'm not saying
there's lots of opportunities here that one should perhaps not listen to.
But you're not going to get
talk show host with the AA degree.
Look, I'm not saying don't do it. Okay? What I'm saying is be realistic about what your chances are here. If your entire goal is to take on patients to try to convert them out of their Stockholm syndrome, maybe you're coming at this from too narrow of a perspective, and you should consider just taking on patients who need psychological help.
If you want to be a psychologist, by all means, go be a psychologist.
Right.
Don't be a psychologist in the hopes that that is going to give you a wealth of status that you can convert.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to line up to come and be converted by you. That may be something that you can slip in to discussions when the time seems appropriate with a patient who is there for whatever other reason that they have sought out your help. But I cannot see there being a line of patients coming in to help you pay off your college loans because you've got to charge a lot of money for these services so you can make your money back that you've invested into the degree and all that. They're probably not going to be doing that even on referrals or whatever because most people don't think they have a problem. Right, when it comes to their belief in government. So, Parker, thank you for the call. Good luck with the school career. I appreciate it. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. Yeah, please, go ahead. If you're into psychology, become a psychologist. I mean, it's an interesting... it's the one book I ever read,
on
actually,
the side
in
as
school.
a hobby. It's not going to... At least not that way. It's not
It was the most interesting book I ever read in school, and the only one I actually ever read textbook. It's Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
This is Fred.
Hi, I'm Fred.
Fred's a repeater.
I tend to repeat.
Fred has a business.
I do have a business.
And a problem. Fred repeats the same tired advertising over and over, and now it doesn't work.
Over and over.
But Fred is about to see a vision.
I'm seeing a vision.
Advertising on the Genesis Communications Network is the smart way for Fred to reach his potential customers with the most affordable national advertising rates, period. Get started today with GCN, the Genesis Communications Network. Just email advertise@gcnlive.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Hey guys, Mark Claire here, lionsofliberty.com, where we strive to advance the ideas of liberty daily. We bring you the Morning Roar. That's right, every Monday to Friday we'll have a brand new edition of the Morning Roar, where we provide a roundup of some news stories that you may not find in the mainstream media or even in your typical social media newsfeed. We find stories that relate to the ideas of liberty and provide you with our liberty perspective on them. Every Monday, we have our longest-running feature, Mondays with Murray, named after the great libertarian Murray Rothbard, where we'll examine an article or an excerpt from his works and help convey his view, along with our little spin as well. We wrap it all up every Friday with Felony Friday, where our own John Odermatt goes out and takes a look at some sort of felony. There's felonies committed every day, you know, whether it's a felony committed by the police, a politician, or even an average citizen. You can find all of this and so much more over at lionsofliberty.com. Advancing the ideas of liberty daily.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll free and you can take control of the airwaves here. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Discord is available to you. The Discord on-air call-in line rooms are open. Go to discord.lrn.fm and you can jump in there. With you tonight, by the way, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
And don't forget that Bitcoin.com is a longtime sponsor here on Free Talk Live. They've done a lot to help us out, and they do great work over at Bitcoin.com, helping new people come across the idea of Bitcoin and understand what Bitcoin is. They've got a great Bitcoin Academy that you can get started with over there at Bitcoin.com if you're brand new, or if you're not so new and you want to get the latest news headlines from around the world when it comes to Bitcoin, go to news.bitcoin.com. That'll take you right to their news site. Once again, that's news, www.bitcoin.com. As we continue, we'll take your calls about whatever you want. Coming up here, we've got the sovereign citizens, or the so-called sovereign citizens. There's an interesting video that I don't know where I spotted it, but I thought it was interesting to share, especially after we had a conversation about it earlier this weekend. But first, let's go to your calls and thoughts. We got Ron in New York listening online. Go ahead, Ron.
Hello, can you hear me this
Hey, yes,
time?
sir. We got you.
Okay, so I was thinking about this the other day, and this is unlikely to happen, but theoretically, if in 2020 Penn Jillette ran for president and won the Libertarian nomination, would you vote for him?
Oh, absolutely, in a heartbeat. I mean, Penn Jillette is a fantastic, character. I mean, he is just like John McAfee. I wouldn't say either of them are the most principled libertarians, but they sure are better than what the Libertarian Party has offered forward in 2008, 2012, and 2016, which were absolutely dismal political candidates. It makes a lot more sense to go the celebrity route and get some attention that way. So I fully support if Penn Jillette were to do that. Has anyone actually asked him, or has he spoken on this, or are you completely just speculating?
I'm just completely speculating.
Well, I still would support
What made you think that we might not support him?
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. I didn't know if there were any positions you had a problem with that he had.
I haven't heard one.
I don't know enough
that I particularly
I
dislike.
I haven't really researched him, but he seems good just kind of in passing.
Yeah, I just thought that perhaps you thought we were one of those people that thinks voting itself is immoral or supports the system or causes consent or one of these things that I've, these bits of nonsense I've tried very hard to dispel over time.
Okay.
There you go, Ron. Anything else?
One other question.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Gary Johnson running for the U.S. Senate?
Well, good. God bless him. I hope that things work out for him. I heard he's doing pretty well in the polls down there in New Mexico. I don't think he's the most principled libertarian, but I don't know who else he was running against. So
he's probably better than whomever he was running against.
He's probably better than the Republican and the Democrat. I would give him that.
Is he running as a libertarian?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He is definitely better than the Republican Mick Rich and the Democrat Martin Heinrich.
Yeah, those names mean nothing to me. But I appreciate your call, Ron. Thank you for making it tonight. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. CJ is with us, calling from an undisclosed location, listening on TuneIn. Hello, CJ.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Yeah. I was just going to add to that last conversation real quick before I get going. I'm totally rooting for Gary Johnson down in New Mexico. That would be awesome. And actually, I would prefer to see Peter Schiff as the presidential candidate in 2020 from the Libertarian Party, but I'm not sure how likely that is. But
I don't think that's very likely.
Then again, neither is Penn Jillette.
That's true.
Yeah, Penn Jillette would be fine too. But yeah, you guys were talking about psilocybin earlier in medicine.
Yeah.
And yeah, listen, I just want everyone to know in America right now that these things saved my life.
Really?
Okay? These things are amazing. I'm telling you, these things opened my mind and made me a more empathetic person.
Tell me about that. I mean, what were you really angry?
Did you take this in therapy or just?
Well, they're very fit. I always whenever. Okay, so here's the thing. I know a thing or two about growing these things. Okay.
Sure.
So I can use them very regularly. I use them very therapeutically.
Just to be clear, you're talking about psychedelic mushrooms with psilocybin as the active ingredient. That's what you're talking about?
That's correct.
When you say regularly, what do you mean? How regular are we talking about?
A couple times a month.
Okay, that's more regular than I think probably most people would do psychedelics.
Sounds regular.
When you do a dose of psilocybin, how large of a dose do you typically take on your regular occasions?
I usually take it just in a standard occasion about 3.5 grams. That's an 8.
It's a strong dose. That's a very strong dose, right?
A moderate. No, it's a moderate.
A full 1/8 of mushrooms?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good trip, man. I mean, I've definitely done mushrooms before.
Trust me.
That's a lot of shrooms to gobble down. For anybody that's unfamiliar, when you're eating psilocybin mushrooms, they typically come in a dried form, and if you don't mind mushrooms, you can usually get through them, no problem.
Isn't there puking always involved?
No, not always. No,
nearly always.
No. There's some people who have who definitely puke probably nearly always. So each person's different. But if you take the mushrooms and you don't have an empty stomach, you're more likely to puke at that point. So if you have an empty stomach, you're less likely to puke. But regardless, so CJ, tell me more about what the first time was like. If this changed for you, was it the first time that it changed? And were you like super angry person before that? Just kind of like paint.
Well, I was always, I was a marijuana smoker for a long time, and when I didn't have marijuana, I could get very grouchy, and and I would say that I was probably addicted to marijuana for a long time. I mean, marijuana is very addictive psychologically. I mean, when you're not high and you've been smoking a lot of weed for a long time, you get bummed out when you don't have it. But I swear to God, these things like cured my addiction for marijuana.
Really?
I can go all day and work and not think about weed. Yeah. And not only that, but I mean, every time I trip, I get a lot of insight, like very insightful stuff. I mean,
insight into what? I mean, are you just keeping it to yourself? I hate to think that I'm missing out.
Well, you
haven't done mushrooms?
I would.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what this insight is. I mean,
sometimes it's hard to put it into words.
What I feel like is people feel like they've gotten an insight, but in fact they have gotten crapola. And I'm just trying to figure out whether it's an insight or crapola.
No, trust me, it's not because I realized when I come down that my thoughts were very insightful. And listen, these things made me a better salesman at work and made me a more empathetic salesman. Yeah, Mark,
you need to try this.
Just like you. Yeah, Mark. These things will open your mind and make you more creative. And look, listen. For people out there that have terminal illnesses, and you're afraid of dying, these things will help you cope with death.
It definitely does.
I think it's fine.
Speaking the truth. I mean,
get mushrooms that grow in cow poop and give them to people that are going to die.
Don't take advice from Mark. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Do not go and pick mushrooms. Hold on. Let me make something clear here. Do not go out and pick random mushrooms out of cow poop. You could kill yourself doing that.
Sure could.
You do not pick out mushrooms randomly out of any pasture or wherever if you want to be a safe, user of an intelligent user of psychedelic drugs. If you want to do mushrooms, what I would recommend, first of all, go to arrowhead.org and do some research. Read about mushrooms. Read about the new studies that they're doing. In fact, I've got the news about that coming up here. And CJ, thanks for calling with your story tonight. I definitely appreciate it. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Read up on whatever it is you're going to do, whether it's mushrooms or MDMA or whatever it is you've got the
I can't disagree with any of that. If you should definitely do a bunch of research before you try this stuff.
And if you're going to get mushrooms, you want to get it from a trusted source, somebody who knows what they're doing. If you don't know anybody in real life, then they have the darknet for that. You can go on various different darknet websites and order all manner of,
It sounds so safe when you call it the darknet.
Well, I mean, it is relatively safe. I've had mushrooms that people say they got from the darknet before, and they were just as good as any other mushroom I've ever had in my life. So that's one way you can get them and get them relatively safely, but that also requires a lot of research and understanding of how to use said dark web. There's more coming up here in moments. This is Free Talk Live.
This November, I'll be running the world's biggest and most popular marathon, the New York City Marathon, as a member of Team Innocence Project. The Innocence Project was the first legal organization to systematically apply DNA testing to cases of wrongful convictions as a powerful tool to reveal innocence. So far in 2018, the Innocence Network has welcomed 32 wrongfully convicted people home from prison for crimes they did not commit and had a record-breaking 850 people unite in Memphis at their annual conference. The movement of freeing the innocent and reforming the criminal justice system is growing and would not be possible without your support. Together as 68 network organizations around the world, they've helped exonerate 513 people who spent a combined total of 7,804 years in prison. They've also worked together to pass over 150 laws in the U.S. to help prevent wrongful convictions. You can support the Innocence Project by going to run.freetalklive.com. That's run.freetalklive.com.
Have you experienced the miracle of CBDs? They can help you reduce suffering, reduce stress, help you sleep better, modulate inflammation in the body, and is absolutely safe. Meta Hemp Solutions offers a radically innovative approach to CBDs for exceptional results. Stop suffering and reduce your stress now. Isn't it time for a good night's sleep? Stop worrying about tomorrow today. Lab tested for potency, purity, and is non-psychoactive. Free shipping to all 50 states. Try our product risk-free, money-back guarantee. Use code GCN15 to get 15% off. That's code GCN15 to get 15% off. Offer ends soon, so visit MetaHemp Solutions today at metahempsolutions.com or call 833-858-7500. Suffer no more. Get rid of the stress and sleep better. Get our product now at metahempsolutions.com. That's metahempsolutions.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You may bring up whatever you want. All you have to do is dial in toll-free here, which is what's been happening so far tonight. We actually didn't even open the show with any topic because we had phone calls right out the gate. And
just keeps on coming.
And I mentioned psilocybin, that I had a story about that coming up. And so somebody actually called in about that to explain their experience using mushrooms, or to do the best they can to explain their experience using mushrooms. If you've ever done a psychedelic like mushrooms or LSD or DMT, for instance, sometimes the effects can be hard to put into words, even though there may be a very strong understanding or some kind of realization, as we were discussing earlier with our caller, CJ. It can be difficult to express those realizations afterwards.
I kind of feel like, I find
or even
psychedelics most talking about them, I'm most comfortable of talking about them in a clinical setting.
Yeah.
And because look, I mean, young people.
Well, you've never done them in a clinical setting.
I have not. Young people, specifically young men, are pretty, they're more prone around 18 to schizophrenia and these kinds of things. These things can do the onsets, and there seems to be some kind of correlation between psychedelic drugs and onset of schizophrenia.
Is that right? I've heard that about cannabis. Is that also true of
Same
other,
thing.
other drugs?
It's basically a psychedelic, but low level.
Right. Now, I don't know how common it is what you're talking about. It may be fairly uncommon, but I'm not sure.
I didn't care very much about my mind when I was 18. Yeah. You know, it's like, whatever. Everything will be fine. I don't even know what I thought.
Well, so like I was saying, I would recommend, if you're interested in doing these things, that you learn about it first over at arrowid.org. Great website with lots of information, frequently asked questions.
I don't think this is the kind of thing you should just wing it, you know?
Trip reports. No, it's very important that you have the right, what they call set and setting. That's probably the most important aspect of this. I mean, it's important that you get the right drug, first of all, that you're not getting some sort of imitation or knockoff or something that's fake or even more dangerous or whatever. So you want to make sure you get the right drug. You want to make sure that you at least have done some research, and most importantly, you want to make sure you have a good set and setting. These are the terms that you're going to hear over and over again the more you look into these things. And the idea there is that you are in a place where you feel comfortable. So a concert around a bunch of strangers, probably not the best place.
Probably not.
The beach where the police could roll up on you, probably not the best place. For somebody who's doing these things for the first time ever, you probably want to be in your home or in the home of a loved one with a loved one or more than one loved one who can be there with you, who can do what's called trip sit, where they are not tripping and you are. Or you and somebody else is, but there's somebody there who's not, just to kind of make sure everything goes smoothly for you and, get you anything you might need. If you, get couch lock or something like that and you can't get up, you need a glass of water or something. Who knows? Just having somebody there who's not on the drug is also an important thing for a first time.
I'm certainly not going to recommend people just go out and experiment with this stuff, but if you're going to do that, you should follow all that advice.
Yeah.
And this is what they call harm reduction. The notion that, people are going to do drugs. Some people are going to do drugs no matter what people say to them. And if there's a way to reduce harm, I think that it's, education and, all these fail-safes that you put in place here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And something strong, I think it's also important to remember, so if something can help you, that means that it's potent. And anything that is potent can also hurt you.
Yep.
So if you don't have I don't think you should go do psychedelics for kicks. That just doesn't strike me as the greatest idea ever. So if you don't have a specific reason why you're doing something, then because it's like any other medication, right? If I'm going to sit here and say, "Oh, this is a medication. It's useful for depression and PTSD and whatever else," I'm not going to recommend you to just go get some blood pressure medication and just take it on the weekends. That's not how medication works. You kind of only take it if you have the condition that it's for.
The Food and Drug Administration, according to FoxBusiness.com, has green-lighted. This is news that is fresh, by the way, as of the last week. They've green-lighted the use of the psychedelic ingredient in magic mushrooms for a drug trial to treat depression. The federal agency gave the U.S. approval to London-based life sciences startup called Compass Pathways that launched in 2016 under the backing of billionaire Peter Thiel. Now,
Thiel, he's always got his wallet into something.
Good for him. I think it's great news. This is the guy who is an ostensible libertarian. Now, I don't know a whole lot about him. I heard that he was one of the founders of PayPal, and then he ended up, of course, selling PayPal to eBay, so I don't think he's any longer involved in that. But it's good to hear that he's out there putting his money where his mouth is and actually helping move along what is a very important process here, to actually give medical trials to psychedelic medications, because we don't really know. There was at one time I think it was in the 60s before they outlawed it, where there was
they shut it down in the early 70s.
Right, where there was some trials, some medical trials going on, and they were starting to learn things about psychedelics as medication. And then government came in, nope, shut it down, war on drugs, prohibition, nobody should be able to use these things, you're a criminal. And so that was the end of any kind of experimentation. It was the end, or at least any kind of legal experimentation.
There is one guy on Earth who, I think he only works with acid, but who works with psychedelics on a trial basis. It's either Sweden or Switzerland. I think it's Sweden. Those are the same country in my head, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. But... so one guy,
near each other, but all right.
And every one of his clients has to be approved by the Swedish government. So basically, there's nowhere.
Yeah. I didn't know about that. That's very interesting. So regulatory approvals have already been given in the UK, the Netherlands, and Canada. The trial is expected to be a phase 2B dose-ranging study involving 216 patients in 12 to 15 research sites across Europe and North America. The tests will begin in the UK later this month, and sites in other countries will kick off as soon as regulatory approvals are received. For years, many psychedelic scientists have been theorizing. I love that we have psychedelic scientists.
I was going to ask that. There's a psychedelic scientist?
Sure there are. Have been theorizing that hallucinating on so-called magic mushrooms could possibly reboot the brain and clear
theorizing. Just theorizing now. No tests whatsoever.
We've been thinking about this.
This is based on no experience.
Think about it real hard.
We're psychedelic scientists who've never used psychedelics in our lives. And they say it could reboot the brain and clear out negative thoughts that may contribute to depression. Now, interestingly, I know somebody who also says that microdosing on, I think she said mushrooms, has helped her with her depression as well. Now, that's obviously outside of any kind of therapeutic session, but there is a difference, by the way, between doing a full-on, eighth of an ounce or a half-eighth dose, like our caller earlier was saying he does a couple times a month. You're going to trip if you do that. Whereas if you are taking a microdose of the product in question, that's a very, very small dose. It usually isn't even noticeable.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see the walls melting or something like that if you're on a microdose.
Right, you're not chewing on a pacifier.
That's also true of any medication, by the way. Or almost any medication. If I take 1,000 to 10,000 times a therapeutic dose of any medication, there's a good chance that I'll hallucinate.
Yeah. That's true. Try Dexalone sometime.
I'm just trying to think about these
or don't. Never mind.
What do they call them? Psychedelic scientists?
That's what they say here in Fox.
I'm just trying to think, like, what happens when they do a drug treatment, a drug test on these guys? Hey, Al, it looks like your test came back positive. It was probably one of those poppy seed. It was probably one of those bagels.
Most things are out of your system in like 3 days. Weed's the only thing that sticks
Weed
around.
sticks around,
and
yeah.
that's only because they don't directly test for weed. They test for the metabolites of weed, which is also why you get so many false positives.
I know that I've heard when I was a kid that they could take hair and see whether or not you've done acid or whatever. But
I've heard that too.
Do they try to blame it on the bagels, the poppy seed bagels there too?
Good question.
Poppy seed bagels. No, that would be heroin, Al. Oh yeah, it was an everything bagel though.
I've heard from lots of people who would know that they've never had a drug test come back positive for LSD. That doesn't mean anything about mushrooms. But I haven't tested that theory, but I've heard it consistently.
If the trial is successful here, Compass Pathways says psilocybin therapy, which combines a dose of psilocybin, which is a psychoactive medicine, and the active ingredient in magic mushrooms, with psychological support, has shown promising signals of efficacy and safety.
Note, with psychological support.
It doesn't say psychiatrist support, it says psychological support.
Psychiatrists usually don't do therapy.
Right. So, Mark, you were saying earlier that psychiatry is moving ahead on these things, but it sounds like maybe psychologists are the ones who are pushing this ahead, or maybe it's both of them. I don't know.
So people who are on meds usually go to a psychiatrist to get a script and a psychologist to get therapy.
To get the therapy along with that. Okay.
Or some other kind of therapy.
There's more coming up here in moments. You can share your thoughts on what is a very promising development for the future of medicine, I think. That is that the FDA is actually approving trials on shrooms.
Let's talk tough. Let's talk comfort. Let's talk about down-home value. Made in the USA blue jeans, like you wore as a kid. Remember?
There's a place down in Tennessee where they make blue diamond gusset jeans. They so pride in every stitch, guarantee you love the way they fit. They put a diamond gusset in the crotch where you need it most. Blue diamond gussets got it, others don't.
For good old-fashioned comfort, get Diamond Gusset jeans. Every stitch guaranteed. And our Defender motorcycle jean comes Kevlar reinforced. See them at GUSSET.com, that's gusset.com, or call 888-848-7738. That's 888-848-7738. Diamond Gusset jeans got it, others don't.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, August 27th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.80 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,206 per ounce. Zen is trading at $19, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,740. Antiwar.com reports the Chinese Foreign Ministry has issued a statement criticizing President Trump's decision to cancel Mike Pompeo's trip to North Korea and his statement blaming China for the move. They called it an irresponsible claim contrary to basic facts. On Friday, President Trump canceled Pompeo's planned visit to North Korea, citing lack of progress on North Korea. He further claimed that he believed China was deliberately refusing to help because of the ongoing trade dispute with the U.S. The statement from the Foreign Ministry said that the U.S. should show more sincerity and flexibility instead of being capricious and put the blame on others. White House officials have offered no comment on the statement. President Trump did, however, say that Pompeo would be able to visit North Korea after the China trade dispute is resolved, predicting this would happen in the near future. The major U.S.-China trade dispute has been ongoing for months, and there has been no public sign that a deal is close. Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They are working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform. The unique spelling of Horizon is a nod to their heritage and recognizes that they remain committed to the vision that their project was built upon. Their coin and ticker symbol remain ZEN. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community. HORIZEN.global. UPI reports, according to an announcement from the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food Safety and Inspection Service, Cargill has recalled more than 25,000 pounds of ground beef due to a potential E. coli contamination. The product subject to the recall is the company's 10-pound chubs of XL937 fine ground beef with a use or freeze-by date of September 5th and a pack date of 8/16/2018. The items were shipped from Fort Morgan, Colorado to warehouses in Colorado and California. The USDA says there has been no confirmed reports of illness because of the product, but the agency said it is concerned that some people may have put the product in the freezer. Anyone who has purchased but not yet used Cargill's 10-pound chubs are urged not to eat them. The USDA said these products should be thrown away or returned to the place of purchase. E. coli infections can cause severe abdominal cramps, bloody diarrhea, and vomiting. In children and older adults, it can cause life-threatening kidney failure. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. Reuters reports a video gamer killed 2 people and wounded several others on Sunday when he opened fire with a handgun at a tournament that was being streamed online from a restaurant in Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville Sheriff Mike Williams named the shooter as David Katz of Baltimore and said he was in town for the competition. Williams declined to comment on what led to the shooting. Williams said Katz killed himself after the shooting and that his body was found along with those of his victims. The sheriff's office said 11 people were wounded by gunfire and at least 2 others were injured while fleeing the scene. Dozens of ambulances and police cars flooded into the Jacksonville Landing, a waterfront dining, entertainment, and shopping site in the city's downtown, after several shots rang out on a sunny Sunday afternoon. The shooting took place during a regional qualifier for the Madden 19 online gaming tournament at the GLHF Game Bar inside the Chicago Pizza Restaurant, according to the venue's website. The bar was live streaming the football video game competition when the gunfire started, according to video of the stream shared on social media. In the video, players can be seen reacting to the shots and cries can be heard from before the footage cuts off. Local media said the shooter had been in the competition himself and lost and apparently targeted other players before killing himself. The sheriff's office said many people were transported to the hospital and its deputies found many others hiding in locked areas at the landing. 6 victims were taken to Jacksonville's UF Health Hospital, 5 of them in stable condition and 1 in serious condition. A spokesman for Jacksonville's Memorial Hospital said they were treating 3 victims, all of whom were in stable condition. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Markets went into a frenzy today after the price of money suddenly skyrocketed to $90 a dollar. Onion reporter spoke to economics professor Mark Cosgrave about the soaring cost of U.S. currency and the impact of increasingly unpredictable dollar-to-dollar rates.
Right now, money prices are steeply rising with no signs of slowing down. This morning alone, the price of dollars nearly tripled, with 1 cent worth approximately $6. That's exponentially higher than even a week ago when money was trading at roughly $53 on the dollar. To put it bluntly, we're now in the midst of a national economic crisis.
According to Cosgrave, the abrupt spike in dollar prices initially caused many Americans to hold on to their money, hoping that the $90 cost of dollars would soon dip back down. But as prices continued to climb, investors panicked and began purchasing as much money as possible.
But with the cost of quarters hitting $4.97 and the $5 bill jumping to a 12-year high of $372, the days when you could get $30 or $40 for just a couple of bucks are unfortunately long gone.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. We're launching into the second hour of the program. As always, you're invited here to join us. Toll-free number 855-450-FREE, like freedom. As we launch here into the second hour with you tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
And also, we've got Discord. The Discord on-air call-in line rooms are available to you, so jump on in there at discord.lrn.fm. You should get the Discord app first, although there is a web version, so you can try it out. But you can't. I don't think you can use the call-in rooms with the web version. You can just use the web version for chatting with our other listeners, which is a fine reason to use Discord. You don't have to be a caller to use Discord. It's just there for you if you want to sound
Lots of features to Discord.
Yeah, if you want to sound like you're sitting in the studio with us. Once again, discord.lrn.fm. Let's go to the phones, to the fun. You can bring up what you want. He's Don in Connecticut. Don, where are you at in Connecticut tonight?
Hey, good evening. My name is Doug.
You are banned. I told you, sir, that you were banned from the show, and that is going to say goodbye to you. So goodbye. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE.
What made it? How did he make you so mad?
Oh, I don't get mad about it. I just don't want somebody wasting my airtime. And all he does is say the same thing over and over again. So we don't have a whole lot of rules here on Free Talk Live. It's open phones any night of the week, which means you can call in about anything you want. But if you make a habit of calling in about the exact same thing every single time you call, at some point I'm going to get a little tired of it, and I'm going to say, okay, well, we've heard about that enough.
That's enough.
So if you're going to keep calling, you need to change it up. You need to give us something else to talk about, or else you're going to be done. And he was told and warned more than once. I warned him more than once before I banned him. I told him he was going to get banned if he did it, and he did it again. And so then I banned him for 3 months. And I'm going to keep extending the ban by 3 months every time he calls in during the banned period. So, it's just going to keep going. He's just never going to get, because apparently he's just too incompetent to understand the fact that he's been banned.
He is in a crazy house.
Well, that's what he claims.
Oh.
He claims to call from a mental ward. He's also claimed to call from the jail. Again, I don't want to get into his ridiculous calls. Let's go on and talk to Dave in New Hampshire. But we have a dump machine, so if you think you can get around the ban, congratulations. All 12 viewers on Twitch just heard what you had to say, which was almost nothing. And that's about it. Everybody else pretty much got that dumped. Go ahead, Dave. You're calling from
besmirching the good name of the Twitch viewers.
Go ahead, Dave. You're on Free Talk Live. Dave in New Hampshire.
Yeah, there is a kind of a long-standing tradition in New Hampshire. We call it a 10-year-old tradition, I guess, of what I call open carry litter pickups.
Yeah. Tell me more.
And not much has been going on for the last 5 of those 10 years, but the process or the practice was sort of revived this month.
I feel like this has been going on for more than 10 years because I recall it happening before I even moved up here back in 2006. So I'm going to say this has been going on for at least a dozen, or at least it went on as long back as 12 or 13 years ago. This is old activism. It's great stuff, though.
So what happened, I guess it must have been August 16th, they had one in Manchester, although they didn't necessarily call it officially an open carry litter pickup. They used the term open carry when they were announcing it.
Okay.
They were just kind of saying, open carry is optional, basically. And
gotcha.
Which is, the same as an open carry litter pickup in the sense, because, we weren't forcing people to carry guns back in the day when we did them.
Yeah, that just sounds like a bad plan, forcing people to carry guns.
For sure.
But this was, so there's this place in Manchester, they call it That Place, and it's just sort of a...
It's a club. It's an activist club.
Well, it's a club.
In the Keene, there's sort of a center.
It's an activist club. People don't know what the KAC is. You referenced the KAC, but people don't know what that is. The Quill is an activist club in Manchester. It started out as kind of this secretive thing, and obviously it is no longer a secret. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's nice to see them doing that. They sort of cleaned up their own neighborhood, basically. And it's not, they're not in the worst neighborhood in New Hampshire, but it's definitely not the best either. So it's nice to see that. I hope to see that more often.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're just commenting that it was nice to see it, that the activists got back out there and they did the open carry. There wasn't any kind of issue with the police. There was no conflict. It was relatively peaceful, successful open carry as far as people went out, picked up garbage, and they wore guns some of them wore guns while doing it.
Probably some of them were wearing. I didn't see any coverage of it or anything like that, so I don't know exactly how. I didn't go. But
if there was no coverage of it, how do you know it actually happened?
Well, that's a good point. They announced it was going to happen, and they announced that before the 16th.
Well, I heard once upon a time that somebody announced in Manchester that there was going to be a DUI checkpoint, and the only person who went out to it was Bill Domenico, and he sent out a couple of Pork 411s, which is an alert messaging system that we have here in New Hampshire, asking people why they didn't come out, and further explained that there was an event at that very same club that you were talking about that very same night featuring Adam Kokesh, at which said DUI checkpoint was announced. And so there were at least 30 people, he said, that heard said announcement of that happening, and not a single one of them actually came out to do it. So I would be very careful saying that something actually happened just because it was announced. I'm not saying it didn't happen. Maybe it did. But if nobody took a picture, if nobody got a video clip, if nobody shared those things online in some sort of form, then ultimately, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody was around to see it happen, does it really matter?
Yeah, the biggest difference is the difference between 0 and 1. So I'm glad Bill was there. But you're
glad the announcement was there. Oh, Bill was there. I'm sorry. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. The other thing worth mentioning is that I guess there was an open carry rifle event in New Hampshire about 9 years ago, and I think it's possible that that of course was also more or less ignored by the police. And once one of those has been ignored by the police, it's pretty easy to get pistols ignored by the police.
Well, this is New Hampshire. Frequently, the police, if they do pay attention to an open carrier, it'll usually be in a friendly manner. They'll usually be seemingly genuinely interested in what kind of gun you're carrying. A lot of the cops in New Hampshire are into guns. The ones that were raised in New Hampshire are more likely to be into guns and genuinely not trying to strip your gun from you and take it. They actually might want to actually look at it and admire it. I've seen this happen. I'm not speculating on that.
I would be incredibly I don't know
what
I would want to do.
So.
Well, I don't even hating them and being afraid of them are kind of two separate issues. if a cop's like, hey, let me see your gun, I just want to check it out, like, I don't want to, like, hand you a gun.
Well, you don't have to. He's just asking you.
It's generally not a practice to hand your gun over to somebody.
Yeah.
Generally, it's not.
Like, if it wasn't a cop, that's really not a thing you should be doing in the first place. Hey, let me see your gun. No.
Well, if it's a total stranger, yeah, you probably don't want to do that. But if it's somebody
Which is
you know,
what a cop is.
Right. But if it's somebody that you know, then
Even still, if
take
it's
the
my
ammo
friend's
out.
like, oh yeah, let me check out your gun while we're walking down the sidewalk. No, because you don't unholster guns while you're walking down the sidewalk.
Right, because that could be considered brandishing in that case.
The state aside, even in the absence of the state, you don't just like hang around like, hey, we're in this public place. Let's pull out some guns.
Right. This is New Hampshire. I've seen it happen. Well, I've been in a parking lot.
That doesn't make it appropriate.
I've seen driving down the wrong way of the street happening.
Hold on. The government required it for a time period. So only just recently did the government in New Hampshire actually allow for concealed carry without a permit. What happened before this was that concealed carry was legal with a permit, but if you're in a car...
that was considered like a coat, and it was no longer open carry.
Yeah, so if you didn't have the permit and you were in a car, you had to, like, when you were getting out of the car, you had to take the gun from some kind of a locked area or whatever, the trunk or wherever it is that you had it, and then you have to then put it on at that point in a parking lot or whatever. So if you're getting out to go into a restaurant, you're strapping up right there as though you're going to go, maybe rob the place. Somebody could see that happening and think that, right? Like, my God, somebody's, arming up for a robbery.
And it's supposed to be unloaded, so you're supposed to sit in the parking lot,
and
load your gun,
right.
And then with your gun still in your hand, get out of the car and then put it in the holster.
Yeah.
Is what you were
I feel
supposed
like I'm
to do.
taking crazy pills.
But they fixed that.
Yes, they finally fixed that. Now you can conceal carry without a permit, which means you can conceal in a car without a permit. So that was fixed in 2017. Kudos to, I guess, the state reps who put that one forward.
Somebody who came to their senses.
Yeah. So, Dave, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. But, hey, to note to all those activists out there announcing events, take a damn picture and post a blog. Let people know what's actually happening here. Oh, you got more? Hang on, Dave. We'll bring you back. Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything.
Crimes of the Crown by Captain Mark. The Crown casts the world in shadow and claims to be our guiding light. Cowards clamor for security from boogeymen and ghost stories. While I say these hobgoblins are imaginary, I say those they propped up as our liberators are now subsisting on our bondage. I say there is freedom in the black, and that's exactly where we intend to go. The Crown banishes its own officers for exposing its crimes and tortures dissidents to the brink of madness. It dominates the globe and swallows the wealth of generations, leaving only blood and excrement. The Crown calls it piracy to explore frontiers beyond its grasp. So the time has come for us to define the conduct among pirates. I say the Crown has trampled our necks long enough. Need decentralized solutions to centralized problems? Looking for a community of like-minded scoundrels? Or just want some swag to let the Crown know what you think of it? Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com. We won't be hard to find.
I've said it many times on air, and I'll say it here. The New Hampshire Liberty Alliance is one of the most important organizations for freedom in the world. New Hampshire is ground zero for freedom, and the NHLA is the best organization at promoting effective liberty activism. This ad is sponsored by Free Talk Live, and I, Mark Edge, am a lifetime member because I believe in the NHLA. Please check them out at nhliberty.org. Not everyone can move right now, but you can support the cause. Donate top cryptocurrencies or old-fashioned U.S. dollars, nhliberty.org. Visit their website and see what they're all about, nhliberty.org.
Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They're working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform and generate income from them. This will allow Horizon to bring thousands of real-life services to the community, services that provide freedom, utility, and privacy. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community, HORIZEN.global.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people like passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Ovaltine. Give your kids the nutrition they need to be their best. Visit us at ovaltineusa.com. Telling your child about healthy food choices is important, but showing her what to eat goes a lot further. Have her help create the grocery list, then bring her to the store with you. Picking out healthy foods together helps kids get in the habit of thinking about what they're eating every day. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You're invited to join us here on the radio. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Coming up, family leave. Melanie is fired up about this as an issue. We'll tell you more about that coming up here in moments. With you tonight, it is Ian.
Melanie.
And Mark.
And speaking of Melanie, she is a tax professional. She's an accountant, and she can take on your business. Maybe you've got a small business, or maybe you've just got your own personal taxes that you want a professional to help you with. Somebody who actually hates the government. Somebody who has such a fiery, burning anger towards the state that it will come out and benefit you, because she's going to do whatever it is that she can do to make sure you don't pay
within the law
as much as you don't have to pay.
Let's not forget that not just that, but she's a graduate of law school, so she has a reasonably good idea about what's going to get you in trouble and what's not.
Exactly. Melanie, any news developments, things you want to share with our listeners? Or
I mean, it's August, so there's not a whole lot going on. I'm just doing bookkeeping, which is really just tax prep for people who have small businesses, just, before the end of the year, making sure they have everything set up. Mm-hmm. Some stuff you can have until that April 15th deadline. If that's mostly IRAs, though, most stuff you don't. Once it's January 1st, it either happened or it didn't.
So if you want some help, reach out to Melanie directly at tax.freetalklive.com. That'll take you right over to her website. That's tax.freetalklive.com. We still have Dave Ridley with us here from RidleyReport.com. Dave, you were calling in to announce what you consider to be good news, and that is that open carry litter pickups have returned to the city of Manchester in New Hampshire as part of the activist migration that's been going on here for well over a decade. Actually, I guess about 15 years since you first originally showed up, Dave. You were one of the first arrivals as part of this migration way back.
And we know for sure that the announcement for this litter pickup occurred.
And back in the day in Manchester, there were activists who actually did these open carry litter pickups. There was video footage of some police giving some trouble to Russell Canning, I think it was, who was involved in one of these events, if I recall correctly, and that was really, pretty excellent, entertaining footage. However, I asked you if the people who had announced this particular event had actually gotten any footage or even a photograph of the event happening, and you said you had not seen anything like that. Melanie, during the break, you actually said, and you live in Manchester, so you kind of run in some of these circles.
I don't live where the Quill is.
Yeah, but you run in some of these circles, so like you're on social media, you probably see some of the posts, right?
Yeah, so I remember there being an announcement for that event a while ago. Whether or not there was another one more recently, I don't know.
How fresh is this, Dave? When did this ostensibly happen?
I think I saw the post around the 12th, and I'm not claiming that they
So a
didn't.
couple weeks.
They may have posted some stuff afterwards. I don't know. I just say I didn't see it.
Melanie
I
is
didn't really
also
have
saying
anything.
she didn't see anything.
Well, right, I didn't see it, but that doesn't mean anything because I don't know.
Well, what it does mean is that the Manchester activists, goddess bless them, are just incapable.
No, it doesn't, because it doesn't mean that I don't have the person who posted it blocked or they don't have me blocked.
No. What I was going to say is, what it does mean is they are incapable of effectively sharing what it is that they're doing. If you're doing something, put it out there for the people out there to see you doing it. I mean, it's great that you went out and you picked up litter. That's cool. I'm not saying you should always, tout from the rooftops that you're doing something nice, but you're also doing activism at the same time, right? Because it wasn't just a litter pickup, it was an open carry litter pickup, and that's an activist event. We are doing a movement here of migrating people who love liberty, libertarians, voluntarists, liberty-loving anarchists. We want to attract them here, or at least I think we do. I mean, I don't speak for everybody, but I would think that the people who moved here to do activism would like to attract other like-minded people here to do activism. So here's an idea. Take a flippin' picture of what it is that you did and then put it up on a blog site. You can get a WordPress site for free.
Facebook is relatively easy to set up.
Facebook is not a blog site.
When can you get a
Facebook is not an
WordPress
effective
site for
way.
free?
WordPress.com. Facebook is not an effective way of sharing things because when you follow somebody on Facebook or you follow a page, Facebook throttles back the ability to share to all of your so-called followers, which is a joke, or likers, or whatever you want to call them. So you don't even reach 1% of the number of people. Like, Mark, what is it, 90,000 followers or so on the Free Talk Live Facebook
it's
page?
96, yeah.
If you were to just post any random picture
Pages
to that,
are different than personal
it's
sites.
true of personals as well. If you post to your
All I'm
personal
saying
profile,
is it's better
only a
than nothing.
fraction. That is that is ridiculous to say it's better than nothing. Yeah, that's true. It's better than nothing. But if you want people to see what you're doing, you should put it on a platform where they can actually see it, where they can actually subscribe to every single post. If you go to freekeen.com and you put your email address in on the top right and subscribe to that, you will get an email every single time a post happens. If you follow Free Talk Live on Mastodon or on Twitter, you will get a notification in your feed whenever we do something, whenever we post it. That is not true of Facebook.
YouTube, also, you'll get a
It is if
notification
you
if you want.
select that you can select your pages to get notifications.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is that still a feature that they allow? So if you beg everybody to go, and everybody who's already taken the time to click like and follow you, now you have to tell them to go and hover over something, scroll down, and then click get notifications, and then maybe you'll get a notification for it.
Hey,
if
Ian,
Facebook
I'm not
feels
here
like
to
it.
defend Facebook. I'm just saying that most people have a Facebook account.
Yeah.
And it's easy to
Don't
post
do what's easy. It's not that hard, okay? It may be a little bit harder than just posting on your Facebook, but you're going to have more people see it if you put it in a place where people can go and find things that you wanted to, and follow you. What I'm saying is here, the people in a lot of the areas of New Hampshire have absolutely failed to publicly share, because a lot of people just share on their personal, profiles. Nobody from, the liberty movement across the country is going to be able to see that if they don't already know you. So if you want people to see what's happening, you got to put it out there. Dave understands this. He's got a YouTube channel. Anybody can subscribe to those YouTube videos on RidleyReport.com. I've got a website, Free Keen, and so whatever I put on there, the people who subscribe to it get that information whenever it's there. That's all I'm saying. It's been an abject failure, and it's been going on the entire time I've lived here. There have been a couple of attempts where some Manchester activists started a website called Free Manch. It went for a little bit, then it failed. Then they brought it back a few years later, and it failed again. And part of the reason it failed was because every time they tried it, they had this centralized command and control structure set up where some editor class person had to go over and approve every single submitted post from all of their bloggers. And of course, that created a backlog, or somebody dropped the ball somewhere. So you couldn't just post. Like, Melanie, if you post to Free Keen, you just post. It's there.
It's there, yeah.
Okay, nobody approves the post. But that, it didn't work out, and they tried it like 2 or 3 different times over the last 10 years. So anyway, that's my gripe about activists. They just don't. They're not promoting themselves, and it's a shame.
Lynn Dighton used to say that winning the Battle of Britain was only slightly more important than making sure the world knew they were winning the Battle of Britain.
Yep, exactly.
So that's true, and that's why I focus more on letting people know what happened than doing things myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and you can't let somebody know what happened if you don't actually know it happened, because there's no evidence for it, because you weren't there to see it happen, Dave, and apparently anybody else that was there didn't bother to take a picture. Thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate it. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And I'm sorry, there's no excuse. Everybody's got a damn cell phone these days, so you got the camera with you. More coming up. It's Free Talk Live.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
Never, ever send a follow-up email asking, "Did you get my email?" Email 101. If it didn't bounce back undeliverable, it got where you sent it. And avoid transmedia pestering, like calling to ask, "Did you get my email?" or emailing to say, "I left you a voicemail." If your emails and voicemails aren't being acknowledged, your problem isn't technology, it's technique. Is your message concise and understandable? Have you boiled it down to seem as relevant as possible to the recipient? In other words, is it the opposite of spam or junk mail? All of this really matters if you're a job seeker. But even if you're not, with money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live.
Pushing women to the ground with a camera in her hand, I think a real man wouldn't do that. And you got to be on roids or something to get into that state of mind.
Well, Wayne hit it on the head. If they're not on steroids, and a number of them, some of them are, most of them probably aren't. They're not on steroids, maybe, but they're definitely high on adrenaline. Former drug task force officer, when he started with the police, he would get that adrenaline rush from writing a ticket. And then, of course, he acclimated himself to it, and then he needed something else. He needed to escalate. He needed to have something else. So it got so extreme that he would leave people uncuffed. Like he'd bust a coke dealer or something like that, and then just leave them uncuffed on the hopes that they would get up and try to run.
So he could kick some butt. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can bring up whatever you want here. Our number is 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, that's 855-450-3733. And joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
Melanie.
And Mark.
By the way, I want you to know about Crypto Tip. You go to cryptotip.org if you are a cryptocurrency advocate, if you're a fan of cryptocurrencies, and you want to help introduce other people to cryptocurrency in real life. Crypto Tip is, in my opinion, the best tool I've come across to utilize crypto in real life, to spread to new people, to people you don't know. You know, it's one thing to talk to your coworkers or your family members or, you know, people you interact with regularly.
Which is great. Please do that.
Sure, but they're probably tired of hearing about crypto by now. So if you want to reach out to people who you don't know...
Here's a tip. Don't keep telling them over and over again, if you just got in when I told you to, you'd be a millionaire by now.
Yeah, that's not a good approach.
Yeah. It's a little painful.
So if you go to cryptotip.org, you can print out business card-sized paper tips that are super easy for the recipient to use. There's a little QR code, a URL on there they can scan, and it'll explain to them the basics of cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin Cash or Dash, and it'll allow them to set up a wallet on their smartphone or their home computer or laptop, and kind of like takes them through the basics of crypto. And then it'll allow them to redeem their tip. They'll be able to collect the Bitcoin Cash or the Dash that you leave for them. And those are the two cryptocurrencies that the site currently supports. So we launched originally with just one, which was Dash, and then just recently, just within the last week or so, Bitcoin Cash became a thing. And so now
it's awesome.
All you Bitcoin cashers out there, some of you asked for this, and it was something I wanted to do. I just didn't want to start with two currencies. I wanted to just make sure that, you know, we got the site up and running and everything was fine before we added our second one. So I would say the site is officially out of public beta. It's a thing now. We're announcing it. You can use it. It works, and it works well. So if you want to share cryptocurrency with people, be generous. Remember, when you're using the Crypto Tip, to leave a generous cash tip. This is one of the most, in my opinion, most important aspects of this. Remember, you don't get to use a Crypto Tip as your excuse not to tip with cash. You should go ahead and leave a good, 20% cash tip if you're at a restaurant or something like that, and then leave the Crypto Tip on top as a bonus. That way, the server will actually take
more
you
likely
seriously.
to pay attention.
Yeah, they're going to look at this thing rather than if you just leave a Crypto Tip, they're going to think you stiffed them, and they're going to angrily crumple it up and throw it in the garbage. So if you want them to actually look at what you're sharing with them, leave a good cash tip, leave the Crypto Tip on top, and make the Crypto Tip, if you can afford it, make it 5, 10, maybe even 15 or more dollars worth of crypto, because the odds are you're going to have to lay down a dozen of these before one person's going to actually collect it. So keep that in mind. You're not going to likely get 100% collections on these things.
Probably not.
So we're still in the early days of cryptocurrency, and this is a great way to
I wonder
spread
how many
it.
people hold on to them saying, I have some Bitcoin now.
It does say it expires right there on the tip. So if they hold on to it, they didn't look real closely at it because it's right there at the bottom. And that is one of the nice things about the Crypto Tip is when you hand these things out, they have an expiration date on them. You put in your crypto wallet address when you signed up for them. And so once the date of expiration comes up, bing, you get the money back, whatever it was that wasn't collected. So really, you want to talk about low risk, this is a great way to get crypto out into people's hands. And I would love to hear other people, like, how else can you use this? I mean, obviously we designed this for tipping. That was kind of the intention. But I was thinking stocking stuffer. You got grandkids or kids at Christmas time or birthdays or whatever. What a great way to physically hand them something that they can collect as cryptocurrency. So what else can you come up with to think of as far as how you can utilize these? Because in some places people don't tip. It's in a lot of countries in the world, tipping just isn't even a thing. Could you use this to just give to people that you want to share cryptocurrency with? And in what creative ways have you come up with to do that? If you want to share that, you're welcome to call us up at 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. I know there's an activist around here who's kind of known for going and putting flyers into books at libraries. Now, obviously, you probably want to do longer than a month expiration period on something like that. But if you put, crypto tips in tech books or, tech magazines or something like that at the public library, I'm just thinking of ideas here. So, cryptotip.org, head on over there and you can create your tips, and you can do it for free if you want. There's a zero cost option. Anything you do above zero as a tip to the site goes to our wonderful developer who put it together. Cryptotip.org. Again, it supports Dash and Bitcoin Cash. Let's go to John in Nevada. You're on Free Talk Live listening to LRN.FM. Hello, John.
Hi, guys.
Hey there.
I take no pleasure from the death of John McCain, but I'm appalled by the outpouring of special reverence for him.
Are you surprised? I mean, it's not uncommon.
The flag wasn't half-staff at the White House. Apparently,
It was not?
That caused some kind of hubbub.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but the White House was uninvited from the funeral, so I don't know.
Interesting. Good for them.
Well, I'm not surprised, but I think the special reverence for John McCain ultimately all stems from the fact that he was tortured as a POW in Vietnam, and that's something he's always been revered for. But I would point out that he was basically tortured for bombing Hanoi, something that was immoral for him to do. Now, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was captured and tortured for helping bring down the World Trade Center. Does that make Khalid Sheikh Mohammed a hero?
Clearly not.
I mean, I think John McCain was mostly revered for dying because that's a weird thing that people do.
I don't know if it's weird if everyone does it. I don't think you can qualify dying as weird.
No, it's weird to just revere people because they died.
Well, generally they revere politicians for this. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm talking about a reverence that has surrounded him his entire career, and is outpouring in a very big way right now. He's a great patriot because he was tortured by people he was bombing.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely something that touches people for whatever reason, because they have this mythology surrounding the U.S. military, the idea that everybody in the military is a hero because they're following the orders of politicians and putting their lives on the line for fruitless, pointless purposes. And
well, that's right. And McCain was actually very clear about that. He said about his own torturers that he didn't blame them because there was a war on. So he's saying that even his torturers were fine because they were just following orders,
just doing their job.
That is
sick, man.
Yeah, that's a really deep state of statism where you're like, it's okay for those people on the other side to do what they do because it's all war and it's all fine, and these.
I mean, I will say that's a particularly honest way of looking at it. I mean, so from the standpoint of statism, I understand why you would worship the military. Like, that at least makes sense under the statist theology. But John McCain, as I understand it, flipped while he was in Vietnam.
I don't know.
Flipped on what?
They gave
whatever info they wanted.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, he was being tortured.
No, hey, I would too. I would be like, what do you want? Here it is, whatever. But that's kind of from the standpoint of an anarchist, where I'm like, I don't care about the U.S. Y'all
when they're
fight
ripping
this
your
out.
fingernails off, it doesn't matter if you're a statist or not. You're going to do what they say.
I gotta say, if I got to pick at my favorite government, communist, communist to Vietnam isn't going to be high on my list.
Yeah, but if I'm sitting in Vietnam being tortured and they're like, tell me about the U.S., I'm going to tell them whatever they want to know.
Yeah, well, I don't know anything.
Yeah, so it's kind of useless because I don't know. But then what I would not do is turn around and be like, look how awesome of a veteran I am. Let me go hang out with veterans and sing songs about bombing other countries. I would not do that after flipping in Vietnam.
Okay. Go ahead, John.
Yeah. Well, McCain got a lot of credit from a lot of people for opposing torture by the Bush administration.
Yep.
But he never called for the prosecution of people who directly engaged in torture or ordered it because, well, they're just following orders. That's the law.
And if it wasn't illegal when they did it, it's kind of hard to prosecute them.
Great points tonight, John. Thanks for calling and sharing
how about
your
Nuremberg?
thoughts. Yeah, no doubt.
That's not at all
just following
the same.
Orders. Thank you, John, for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you.
Because Germany was conquered at that point.
855-450-FREE like freedom. We can continue in moments. Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com wants you to know about SaveItPurse.com. Since launching in 2014, over 200,000 users have saved an average of 15% for a combined $4 million using Bitcoin, or BTC. And now you can use Bitcoin Cash, BCH, to fund your account. You can save between 5 to 33% on things you're going to buy anyway when you shop using SaveItPurse.com. Add items to your cart, fund your account, select your discount, and save. SaveItPurse.com. Save ATPurse.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Bacon lovers, we ship free. Try our amazing bacon. No refrigeration required. Proprietary value-added packaging provides 10-year shelf life and protects the leanest, thickest, center-cut, fully cooked bacon in America today. Ready to eat right from the pouch or warm and serve. Savory and delicious. Wholesale price for your everyday use. Order today at readytoeatbacon.com. readytoeatbacon.com.
This is Fred.
Hi, I'm Fred.
Fred's a repeater.
I tend to repeat.
Fred has a business.
I do have a business.
And a problem. Fred repeats the same tired advertising over and over, and now it doesn't work.
Over and over.
But Fred is about to see a vision.
I'm seeing a vision.
Advertising on the Genesis Communications Network is the smart way for Fred to reach his potential customers with the most affordable national advertising rates, period. Get started today with GCN, the Genesis Communications Network. Just email advertise@gcnlive.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm. Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll-free, take control of the airwaves, and bring up whatever's on your mind. And that number is 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. Freedom's Phoenix is a liberty-oriented news aggregation site. If you want the newest and freshest stories and perspectives on current events From those who value liberty, then freedomsphoenix.com has it. Their daily dispatch is the best way to stay up to date on science, technology, historical findings, liberty news, government overspending, and the rise of the police state. Freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. That's freedomsphoenix.com. Ian, Melanie, and Mark in the studio tonight. We go back to the phones, to the fun. Coming up, family leave. Melanie is fired up on that issue. We will find out what that's all about, what's upsetting to her. But first, it's Mike in Virginia. Mike, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hello, Ian. You weren't in last night when I called back in response to your request that I do so. But I have a question and a kind of an update. Today's Washington Post covered the story about this former ambassador to the United States from the Vatican who has accused a cardinal, a cardinal in Washington, of all kinds of heinous crimes. Here's the problem: we recognize this cult of pedophiles as a sovereign nation. We exchange ambassadors with this so-called sovereign nation, and one of their former ambassadors is telling us about crimes going on in our country by clerics who have not registered as foreign agents as they are required under the law, clerics who have sworn submission and obedience to the head of that foreign state, which they call the Vatican, and we're not hearing anything from the Trump administration as to what it's going to do to stop this lawlessness going on inside our country by these foreign powers, these agents of a foreign power.
What would you propose?
These agents of a foreign power who have refused to abide by a law to register as foreign agents.
Okay, but what would you propose?
Here it is. If you have sworn submission and obedience to the head of a foreign state, you either register now or turn yourself in to be arrested, just like Paul Manafort was just convicted for doing the same thing.
I'm not saying that, so I'm not saying you didn't bring up an interesting point here, that priests would be necessarily agents of a foreign power, the Vatican. I think that's fascinating. But don't we already know it? And what's the point in having them register?
Well, what's the point of obeying any law?
Well, I don't think there is any point to that. You're calling the wrong show for that.
Right. This is probably not the show to ask that question.
No. Here's the point. We have in the White House someone trying to tear down our national security state.
What?
He is married.
Wait a second.
What kind of ridiculous statement is that?
Well, I mean, Barack Obama didn't go after the priests either.
Well, look, Barack Obama is himself an undercover priest, as far as I can tell.
An undercover Catholic priest.
Undercover, absolutely.
I don't know if that's even physically possible, because a priest is kind of a it's like saying I'm an undercover news anchor. That doesn't make any sense.
I gotta say, you are a great caller. If this isn't some kind of lampoon, I don't know what is. It's glorious.
No.
Glorious.
Let's go to the point.
Yeah.
The point is this: we have this hypocrisy operating on the side of lawlessness that calls itself the Trump administration. Now,
which basically is doing the same thing the Obama administration did.
Paul Manafort has just been convicted. Now, they're talking about pardoning him. I think we need to start talking about Cardinal Donald Trump, not President Donald Trump, because that's how he's acting.
So wait, is Donald Trump with the Russians, or is he with the Vatican City?
Donald Trump was with the Germans first. His grandfather
he gets around, doesn't he?
His grandfather was an undercover agent for Kaiser Wilhelm. That we have confirmed. Now, when the Russians found this out, when they took captive Nazi officers, when they found out that the Trump family was a sleeper cell family for the Kaiser, they began focusing on the Trump family. They've got them wrapped up.
So wait. Who's got them wrapped up? The Catholic Church?
The Russians.
The Russians.
The Russians knew that
okay, but
they
when
could
did he become
compromise.
a pope? Or, excuse me, what was it, cardinal? A secret cardinal?
What I'm saying is this.
When did that happen? Was it after the Russians co-opted him, or was it before?
The situation was this. Donald Trump was handed the job of carrying out Kaiser Wilhelm's dictum
That's some old orders.
for Mexico.
Isn't Kaiser Wilhelm, wasn't he related to the Queen of England?
They're all related.
It doesn't matter. This is a power
I'm pretty sure
game.
it doesn't. You're right.
Mike, thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate it. The toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE.
I'm just trying to do the math in my head. My mother's probably about Donald Trump's age.
Okay.
And
he's what, in his 70s?
He's
in his
70s.
Yeah. 74 or something like that?
My mother's 77.
Okay.
Her grandfather would have probably not been old enough to be trusted by Kaiser Wilhelm for much of anything. I'm just trying to think that, like it would, like great-grandfather.
No, he was saying he
maybe.
was following the orders given to his grandfather.
Right. I mean, how many orders given to your grandfather are you following?
Right?
I mean, the only thing in that call that made any sense at all was the foreign agent registration. I think he has a point there. Vatican is considered a country.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's always been an odd country. It's a country that's like less than a square mile.
That's true.
It really, by all other standards, it should be classified as a micronation.
Yeah, well, I mean, it shouldn't be classified, frankly, as anything. It's.
Well, why can't they have a nation if they want to be a nation?
They can.
Nobody should be able to be a nation.
Well,
they don't function like a nation. They function like a neighborhood in Rome.
Do they not have their own police department?
Yes, they do have their own police department.
They have their own army.
They have their own security force.
Okay, so what is it that is not nation-like about them?
They do they generate their own power?
They kind of exist at the tolerance of the surrounding Italy.
Do they mine? Drill their own water? They really have nothing for resources.
So you're saying you have to be more independent to?
I would say that. Well, yeah. I mean, so to really claim sovereignty, sovereignty suggests some level of independence.
Is Venezuela independent these days? I mean, they can barely even find toilet paper.
Well, that's the people. That has nothing to do with the government.
It has everything to do with the government. The government's
causing the situation, but the health of the people has nothing to do with the health of the government.
Expect these poverty-stricken people in Venezuela to take care of that whole sovereignty issue that the government has relatively short.
Well, I hope so, but it's been a long time that Venezuela has been getting much, much worse.
People of Cuba suffered a long time too. The people of Russia suffered a long time.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I hope it happens as soon as you were saying that it might. But unfortunately, it doesn't appear that. Well, it's one of those things where it's just the ball's gonna drop and it's gonna happen. You know, it's gonna just like the wall came down in Berlin.
Either Maduro will be hoisted on his own petard and
I hope that hurts.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Especially
whatever a petard is. What is a petard?
If somebody's going to put you on a petard, they're going to put it someplace that.
What is it? What is a petard? I've heard the saying. I know the colloquialism, but I don't actually know what a petard is. Is it P-E-T-A-R-D?
I think it's the spear upon which one puts a little flag. So like the pointy, like the flag poles with a point at the top.
Yeah, kind of fire. Well, no, it says here a petard is a small bomb.
Bomb?
According to dictionary here, according to Google, a small bomb made of a metal or wooden box filled with powder used to blast down a door or to make a hole in a wall. It doesn't really make sense with the saying, though. Maybe there's another definition that...
But I'd like to welcome all the NSA agents that are now joining us.
Hoisted from his own petard is a speech from William Shakespeare's play Hamlet.
And Shakespeare's older than 16th century, which is what the French, what a bomb is.
The phrase's meaning is literally that the bomb maker, a petard is a small explosive device, is blown up, hoisted off the ground with his own bomb.
All right.
It indicates an ironic reversal or poetic justice.
I love how I had such a detailed, incorrect definition of what a bazar is.
There's more coming up here. Hour number 3 next. It's Free Talk Live.
Have you experienced the miracle of CBDs? They can help you reduce suffering, reduce stress, help you sleep better, modulate inflammation in the body, and is absolutely safe. Meta Hemp Solutions offers a radically innovative approach to CBDs for exceptional results. Stop suffering and reduce your stress now. Isn't it time for a good night's sleep? Stop worrying about tomorrow today. Lab tested for potency, purity, and is non-psychoactive. Free shipping to all 50 states. Try our product risk-free, money-back guarantee. Use code GCN15 to get 15% off. That's code GCN15 to get 15% off. Offer ends soon, so visit MetaHemp Solutions today at metahempsolutions.com or call 833-858-7500. Suffer no more. Get rid of the stress and sleep better. Get our product now at metahempsolutions.com. That's metahempsolutions.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, August 27th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.80 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,206 per ounce. Zen is trading at $19, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,740. Antiwar.com reports the Chinese Foreign Ministry has issued a statement criticizing President Trump's decision to cancel Mike Pompeo's trip to North Korea and his statement blaming China for the move. They called it an irresponsible claim contrary to basic facts. On Friday, President Trump canceled Pompeo's planned visit to North Korea, citing lack of progress on North Korea. He further claimed that he believed China was deliberately refusing to help because of the ongoing trade dispute with the U.S. The statement from the Foreign Ministry said that the U.S. should show more sincerity and flexibility instead of being capricious and put the blame on others. White House officials have offered no comment on the statement. President Trump did, however, say that Pompeo would be able to visit North Korea after the China trade dispute is resolved, predicting this would happen in the near future. The major U.S.-China trade dispute has been ongoing for months, and there has been no public sign that a deal is close. Zencash has changed their name to Horizon to better represent their transition from a cryptocurrency to a pioneering platform that protects consumer data. They are working towards the day when anyone will be able to build privacy-based applications on the Horizon platform. The unique spelling of Horizon is a nod to their heritage and recognizes that they remain committed to the vision that their project was built upon. Their coin and ticker symbol remain ZEN. Learn more at horizon.global and join the Horizon community. HORIZEN.global. UPI reports, according to an announcement from the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food Safety and Inspection Service, Cargill has recalled more than 25,000 pounds of ground beef due to a potential E. coli contamination. The product subject to the recall is the company's 10-pound chubs of XL937 fine ground beef with a use or freeze-by date of September 5th and a pack date of 8/16/2018. The items were shipped from Fort Morgan, Colorado to warehouses in Colorado and California. The USDA says there has been been no confirmed reports of illness because of the product, but the agency said it is concerned that some people may have put the product in the freezer. Anyone who has purchased but not yet used Cargill's 10-pound chubs are urged not to eat them. The USDA said these products should be thrown away or returned to the place of purchase. E. coli infections can cause severe abdominal cramps, bloody diarrhea, and vomiting. In children and older adults, it can cause life-threatening kidney failure. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spendabit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spendabit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. Bitcoin merchants, ask about our merchant suite to reach even more customers. Spendabit.co. Reuters reports a video gamer killed 2 people and wounded several others on Sunday when he opened fire with a handgun at a tournament that was being streamed online from a restaurant in Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville Sheriff Mike Williams named the shooter as David Katz of Baltimore and said he was in town for the competition. Williams declined to comment on what led to the shooting. Williams said Katz killed himself after the shooting and that his body was found along with those of his victims. The sheriff's office said 11 people were wounded by gunfire and at least 2 others were injured while fleeing the scene. Dozens of ambulances and police cars flooded into the Jacksonville Landing, a waterfront dining, entertainment, and shopping site in the city's downtown, after several shots rang out on a sunny Sunday afternoon. The shooting took place during a regional qualifier for the Madden 19 online gaming tournament at the GLHF Game Bar inside the Chicago Pizza restaurant, according to the venue's website. The bar was live streaming the football video game competition when the gunfire started, according to video of the stream shared on social media. In the video, players can be seen reacting to the shots and cries can be heard from before the footage cuts off. Local media said the shooter had been in the competition himself and lost and apparently targeted other players before killing himself. The sheriff's office said many people were transported to the hospital and its deputies found many others hiding in locked areas at the landing. 6 victims were taken to Jacksonville's UF Health Hospital, 5 of them in stable condition and 1 in serious condition. A spokesman for Jacksonville's Memorial Hospital said they were treating 3 victims, all of whom were in stable condition. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
A man thanks God he's not sexually attracted to children, and Popeye's home is burglarized. Week in and week out, you come back like a housebroken Pomeranian, loyal to the bitter end. Good boy. This is the Onion Week in Review. Georgia's Cobb County Evangelical Hospital held its 5th annual Walk to Cure Gayness today, reportedly drawing thousands of participants to raise funds that would cure sufferers of their homosexuality and make gayness a thing of the past. Hospital administrators told reporters that funding from the walk would go into providing new state-of-the-art gayness treatment equipment, along with remodeling the hospital's physical therapy center, which has spent nearly 14 years reteaching gay men how to walk properly.
Oh God, I was a goner. But as you can see, I'm now happily married to a woman, and as of next month, I will have been in full remission for 2 whole years. I'm just so very, very happy. Everything's really good in my life.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything that you want here. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And with you in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
We've got the Discord on-air call-in lines, which are available to you. You can go to discord.lrn.fm. You can get in there with other chatters, including some of the hosts of the show. Mark, I think you're in there tonight. Matt, Mark's there.
Yeah, I am.
Melanie is in there. I'm in there pretty much every single day. Over at discord.lrn.fm, there's some great chat rooms there 24/7. But right now, because we're live on the radio, you can use the Discord on-air call-in line rooms and get on the air with us about whatever you want. Coming up, if we get the chance, the Sovereign Citizens. There's an interesting video from I guess Fox 11 out of Los Angeles about one local so-called sovereign citizen and his story. They actually interview him about his beliefs of not having to have a driver's license, for instance, to get from point A to point B. So we can talk about that. But Melanie, you wanted to talk about family leave, which is, according to the discussion we had before the show, is the idea where This would be a government mandate to force employers essentially to give pregnant women time off. Is that right?
So at the end of the day, that's what it is. So they already have the FLMAQ2Z, whatever it is.
What is that?
Where you get 12 weeks of unpaid leave for basically any family medical event. So if you give birth if to care for if you're sick, to care for a sick parent, I think it's like parent, spouse, child. But I don't remember the details.
So this already exists?
That already exists.
And that's nationwide?
Yes. It doesn't matter because if you're in a job that's low enough to where you have to be like, the Fed said I can be off, you can't afford to take off 12 weeks. So it kind of doesn't matter.
Okay, got it.
It's just kind of getting your job back, basically.
They guarantee you the job back.
And most of those most of the jobs that are that low where you would have to invoke this, you could kind of just quit and then come back later and be like, I'm applying again, and they'll be like, all right, whatever. And that's kind of common. And if you're going that low to where you're like, hey, my mother has whatever, I need to take care of her for 3 weeks, and your boss is like, no. If that's where you're at, it's...
I'm just trying to imagine as a salesperson. Remember when I worked for that lifestyle magazine in Sarasota, Florida?
Yes, sir.
So if I invoked this Family Leave Act, I need 12 weeks off, and I'm going to take it, and it's my right.
Yep.
Sure.
3 months.
I might very well come back and get my job as a salesperson back. But what about that list of clients
that somebody else had to service?
Yeah, well, that I built up over the course of 2 or 3 or 4 years,
Do you get
or
those
whatever.
back too?
Yeah, well, that's not your job. That's not the job description. Like as the head waitress at a given bar.
Yeah, they don't have
or
to treat
something.
you well when you come back. They just have to not fire you.
For how long?
For that.
Meaning, like, can you just come back and then not be fired for a certain period of time?
No, that's not. No, they just can't fire you for that. So
okay, you're back. Now you're fired. How long do you have after?
That's not how this works.
Okay.
They can't. They cannot say, I fire you because you took off 12 weeks.
But they could say, I'm firing you because of some other cause.
Yeah. So this is
just not during the 12 weeks. Not
effect.
during the 12 weeks. They would have to wait till you get back.
No, they could be like, we just found these documents you frauded, and so therefore you're fired. Like you're not immune from all causes of firing, and most states are at will states. So it kind of doesn't matter.
Right. Now, especially if it's at will.
Are they proposing to make this a paid 12 weeks instead of what's the proposal here?
So it's from I think 3 to 12 weeks, or I forgot what. I think it's 6 to 12 weeks, depending on how much you choose to take is the percentage of your pay that you get. So at 6 weeks you get like almost 100. It's like 96 or something like that %. If you take the full 12, and you get a little less than half. I think it's 45% of your pay. And it comes out of Social Security. And I didn't read the bill, and I'm not going to because it's not done being written. That's not how this process works. So it sounds to me like, so if you take 6 weeks off, then you have to delay your Social Security by 6 weeks. I don't know if it's a one-to-one time frame, but you have to delay Social Security based on you taking this leave.
Well, Social Security also has, like you can take it at different times. You can take it at, I don't know, I'm not going to give legal advice here, but more or less somewhere between 62 and 67, and you get paid more if you take it later, less if you take it earlier, and that kind of thing. So there's all kinds of formulas that go into that too. It's complicated math, Social Security.
So what you're saying is the money for this 12 weeks comes out of Social Security? Or it comes out of the employer?
The employer is not directly paying for the money you get paid while you're on this.
Of course, the employer is ultimately paying into the Social Security in the first place, so that's where it's all coming from. But you're saying the check comes from the government. The check comes from the Social Security Administration to cover the time off.
Yes.
If this passes. This is just a proposal.
If this passes, yes.
And this is a nationwide proposal.
Yes.
Okay.
So now Family Leave Act did pre-exist this, but this would kind of make it real. if you could afford to live off of 45% or 92%, 92, 96, whatever it was, percent of your paycheck, then you can actually take that time off, and now it maybe matters. High-end jobs kind of offered return, and I'm going to call this maternity leave because to be real, that's what it is. It also covers fathers, but that is not what's going to happen. So,
well, I mean, if you come down with a medical condition, you can take some time off and get paid for it. I mean,
no, you can't because that's not what it's. You could.
I thought any family issue, any kind of. I thought you said it was maternity plus other things.
No, what we have now is unpaid 12 weeks for the medical stuff. This is maternity leave.
This is only, you're saying
it's
specifically.
It's also paternity leave, but it's maternity leave.
So they're not saying this would be if somebody has a heart attack, they end up in a hospital. This would not apply to that. Okay. All right. So
if you have a self-inflicted medical condition, you get 6 to 12 weeks paid. If you have if you have a non-self-inflicted medical condition, you get up to 12 weeks unpaid.
You're talking about pregnancy.
Pregnancy is the self-inflicted medical condition. I love that.
Usually is.
Sometimes
it's not. It can be not, but we're typically talking about self-inflicted medical condition.
You're a woman. You are getting married soon.
Why not defend this?
You're going to have kids. I know you've talked about having kids. So
you seem excited about the idea.
Yeah. Why are you against this?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to go and get on Social Security when I have kids or whatever monstrosity this is.
Yeah, but are you saying you hate poor people and that you want them to suffer when they're just trying to have a baby?
So I don't particularly hate poor people. I don't particularly not hate them either.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why we're so afraid of that. This
is going to affect poor people worse than it's going to affect. I mean, it's going to. This is.
What do you mean it's going to affect them?
This is going to make it so poor people have a.
It's going to make it so that unproductive people, we have more of them.
So you're saying that productive people don't have babies?
If you pay people to do a thing, they're going to do it more often. So
this is incentivizing baby having,
but only among the lowest.
Which they're already incentivized to do because
status.
Right. So which many of them are already incentivized to do by the welfare system because then they get extra welfare payments for having new babies, right?
Yeah, I got a story right here. 52.1% of kids live in households getting means tested government assistance.
That's welfare, right?
That's welfare. Basically.
That's a lot. One out of every 2 children.
Yep.
And the state is good at what it does.
Okay, so you've convinced me. This is definitely something worthy of being opposed. I was just playing devil's advocate there. Obviously, this could be something that can be done in the marketplace where an employer could offer this to people if they felt like it was worth doing.
Yeah, and so higher-end employers will do that, or even kind of regular jobs in tighter markets will sometimes do that too.
But if it's a McDonald's position, then they can flip one burger, flip her out, and put another one in, and what's the difference is the idea.
Yeah, so if you're not in a position where you're highly valued, there's no reason for your employer to pay tons of money for you to not work.
If they do, it's just going to increase the cost of a hamburger. There's more coming up here in moments. It's Free Talk Live.
She seems happier. Her fur is so much shinier, silkier, softer. She has really mellowed a lot.
Sheba is 105 lean pounds of shiny, smooth, happy dog for life.
The shedding has stopped. The itching has stopped.
Since 2001, we've helped more than 250,000 dogs get over their nutritional deficiency miseries.
And saved our customers bazillions in vet bills.
Everything we tried failed except the Dinovite.
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
The omega-3 fatty acids, flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food. Dinovite is nutrition.
Dinovite for life.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dinovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way.
You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this hospital.
No, I have work today.
You ain't going to make it.
Wait a minute. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable! Why are you running from me? Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You may dial toll-free here. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Also, you can join our Discord server at discord.lrn.fm, where we've got on-air call-in line rooms open and available to you. You'll sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us. Tonight, it's Ian.
Melanie.
And Mark.
A lot of libertarians got to know Tom Woods during the Ron Paul campaigns of 2008 and 2012. Tom is a New York Times best-selling author and has written over a dozen books, including The Politically Incorrect Guide to American History. Since September of 2013, Tom Woods has been putting out his own show, The Tom Woods Show, every weekday, which means he's racked up about 1,200 episodes so far. Great guests like Ron Paul, Judge Andrew Napolitano, David Stockman, and hundreds more, with topics including Federal Reserve, net neutrality, the FDA, Austrian economics, and other subjects of interest to libertarians. You can find The Tom Woods Show online at tomwoods.com or search for Tom Woods Show in your favorite podcatcher.
It's a great show.
Over the weekend, and yes, by the way, thanks to Tom Woods for promoting Free Talk Live on his show. We've had a couple new users show up in the Discord. We've had a couple callers calling in to say that they heard about us on Tom Woods' show. So a little cross promotion goes a long way. Appreciate everybody who's come over here from listening to the Tom Woods show. All right, so of course we'll take your calls about what you want. It was, and I'm sorry, I've had this in my prep now for like more than a week, and I don't remember where I first saw it. It might have actually been on our Discord server, because we actually have a news posting kind of room there. So in addition to just regular chat rooms, there's one called News-Stories-Show Prep, where if you've got a show prep idea you want to kind of put out there, you can drop it in there. Now, of course, you can still use our website. We still have the Reddit, the Free Talk Live Reddit, where some people still submit stories there. So there's a couple different ways where you can get your submissions to us, but one of them is over on the Discord server at discord.lrn.fm. I think that's where I saw this. It is about a year old. However, this is a subject that doesn't get covered typically in the news media very often. And when it does, it's covered in a pretty unfair manner. And I'm talking about the idea of the so-called sovereign citizen. Now, Melanie, do you know what a sovereign citizen is?
Yeah, I get some of those sometimes.
You get them? Where do you get them?
She does taxes.
Yeah.
They pay taxes?
They call me with absurd requests.
Have you ever actually gotten any money out of them to try to do one of their absurd requests?
No, because I'm not going to take somebody's money to say I can do something I know I can't do.
I see. So they've got some sort of cockamamie scheme, and you're just like, yeah, no, not gonna. I can't help you with this.
Well, first of all, I'm not an attorney, so I couldn't represent them from across the country anyway.
Right.
But yeah,
so they've got an issue with the IRS. They need representation. Is the idea?
It depends on what they got. It depends on what you have going on. There's some stuff I can do. There's some stuff I can't do. But if you're calling me, I want to send the IRS a letter that says that they don't have jurisdiction because the 20th, whatever it was, amendment wasn't proper.
16th?
16th was not properly ratified. Yep.
Was not properly, like, it doesn't really matter whether or not the 16th Amendment was properly ratified. What matters is they got tanks, you don't.
That's a legal theory. You can tell it to the judge.
That's not a legal theory, really.
You're saying it's true?
I don't know if it's true or not. I've never looked into it because it's just not relevant. I can't argue that in court, so it doesn't matter.
Now, why couldn't you argue that in court?
Because that is not how this works.
There's quite a few people have gone to jail trying to, use the defense of show me the law,
The law that requires them to pay income tax, you mean? People who believe that it's a completely voluntary
Every time
thing.
somebody goes to jail for this, somebody then tweaks the theory a little bit and says,
This'll work.
No. It was this.
Yeah.
If we'd only said the words in this order, then we would have been fine.
Here's a video from Fox 11 Los Angeles on their YouTube channel. It's racked up over 130,000 views about, it's titled, No Registration, No Plates, a look into the rising sovereign citizens movement.
I do not consent! I do not consent!
Confrontations with cops.
I am asking him for his supervisor.
It's what these people have come.
By the way, that noise in the background was a cop bashing in this man's window with his club.
To expect.
And it is not a crime for me to travel without a license
when they don't follow the law.
I'm giving you a lawful order.
Sometimes police get so frustrated, these confrontations become violent.
Whoa. This is assault. This is assault. I do not consent.
In this climate of government distrust, those in defiance are staging a new rallying cry to stand up for what they believe is rightfully theirs.
But I do not need a license or identification at any time. This is America, right? Well, I'm going to place you under arrest. No, you need to read that before you violate my law.
That usually doesn't work. To ask a cop to take some time to read whatever legal theory it is that you want him to believe is usually not going to work. The cop is not going to do that. He's not interested in your legal theories. He is just doing his job, and he believes that you have violated some stupid ordinance or whatever, and he's going to enforce it on you.
Here's another idea. It's not going to work if you send it to a talk show host and tell him to read it either.
No doubt. By the way, some of the footage that's in the background here, so again, it's a news clip, so they're talking about people using audio and video clips of people refusing the police to some extent, to non-cooperating, mostly in police pullover situations. And there's some really scary looking cops doing some pretty violent things, like they're bashing in a driver's side window with their mallet or whatever, the nightstick, and
ultimately,
shouting and screaming. And
every traffic stop is potentially a death sentence.
Right.
Because, that's what it...
If you push it, they'll push all the way.
If you don't pull over, they'll get their friends, and they'll sort of circle up. They'll start shooting out tires. They'll lay down tack strips.
Yep.
They'll ram you off the side of the road. You try to, not consent enough. Yeah, I mean, at some point or another, the guns come out. That's what government is. It's an organization that claims a monopoly privilege over the use of violence in a given landmass. It doesn't say in that little note, I did not say an organization that follows the rule of law from, I don't know, Roman times or whatever.
Or even follows their own rules. They don't even follow their own rules.
They make up their own rules, and then if they break their rules, they defend themselves.
Here's more.
The voice of Trent Goodbody.
It's about doing the right thing.
He's what some might call a modern-day sovereign citizen, but he doesn't like that title.
God is my authority.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's YouTube.
And he is the only sovereign there is.
Good.
I'm glad to hear again, the news media using the term sovereign citizen, but this guy that they interviewed actually denying the term because it is a terrible term that is just on its face contradictory. You cannot be a sovereign, which means the king, and as he was saying, his king is his god. You cannot be a sovereign and at the same time be a citizen, because a citizen is a person who owes a duty of allegiance in return for an obligation of protection.
Yeah, but a lot of these people also claim the distinction between state and federal citizenship. They'll say that say they're a state citizen. And,
I've
and
looked
weird
into that
stuff
one.
like that. So what?
I've looked into that one, the state citizen thing.
Yeah, so
that's an interesting theory.
You also went to jail because you basically did not consent in court, right?
Yeah, I tried that thing where I didn't consent.
Strangely, they didn't care if you consented or not. The jail cell, the walls, the blocks that the jail was made out of did not care whether you consented. The steel door that closed upon you didn't care, and none of the guards that were involved, they didn't care either.
The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. They got more of this interview with the individual who is doing, let's call it freedom to travel activism, here in moments. It's Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Do the letters IRS give you anxiety? I'm Dan Pilla. I've defended people from the IRS for more than 40 years. My book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, created the tax resolution industry and is responsible for helping hundreds of thousands of people. It can help you too. If you're a non-filer or facing IRS enforcement right now, your case is unique. You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com. The 3 most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share 1 episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations.
Support all the organizations you love. But make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You dial in, toll free, bring up what you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE. We're talking about the freedom to travel. The activists out there who, some of them call themselves sovereign citizens, apparently, but it's a terrible term. Others are aware that that's a bad terminology, but either way, it's
I'm
not
also not going to remember 30 different terms and whose applies to what.
Yeah, I don't know what term they prefer, but in this case, we'll just call them freedom to travel activists, people who are driving around without any kind of driver's license or even a tag, or at least a state-issued tag on their car. This guy, for instance, has his own tag that he had manufactured that says...
You have one of those. Is it still in the studio?
No, it was actually on the back of the car that I was driving for 2,950 miles until they finally pulled me over for it.
You were not under any delusion that that was legal.
No, of course not. I wanted to see how many miles I could go.
And that's the difference. I have no problem if somebody wants to go around breaking almost every law there is.
Especially the ones that have no victims.
Mostly only the ones that have no victims, but that's still the overwhelming majority of them. Have at it. Don't pretend. So, my main problem with sovereign citizens is that they're, by saying this law is illegitimate because it was passed weird or because of whatever, they're kind of implying that the rest of laws are legitimate.
Yeah.
But then the thing that they do is borderline aggression. They'll take a really dangerous thing and go try to convince people that it's not at all dangerous. And that's a problem.
Like driving around and like try to convince people that the cops aren't going to get them or something? What do you mean? Okay. In this case, I want to continue the audio, but I do also want to let you know about Anarchapulco, which is coming up February 14th through the 19th. That's 6 months basically from now, but it's going to be here sooner rather than later. I mean, it's going to come up fast on you. In fact, Mark, you're already planning your trip down
I know a third of the tickets are sold.
Mexico. Yeah, a third of the tickets to Anarchapulco, and it's bigger this year. So last year it was only around 1,700 attendees, and that was sold out last year. They're moving to a larger venue this year. Same great resort. I believe they're going to be in the same location this year, but the larger venue on that resort. They've got two huge venues there. So they've already almost hit, 1,000 people is almost what they had last year. So it's going to be big. It could sell out again this year. It's Ron Paul. Ron Paul is going to be speaking there. Judge Napolitano, Doug Casey, Larkin Rose, and more yet to be announced.
The president of Liberland, Vit Yadlika.
It's coming back?
I believe so.
All right.
Remember when we were doing the interview there, and then the earthquake came, and
right at the end.
At the end of the segment, he just runs off.
Yep.
Well, we're like, I wonder what we should do with the equipment. We probably should get out from underneath this many tons of
equipment doesn't matter.
Block.
It's just equipment. And so, that was exciting. Anarchapulco.com, code FTL, get you 15% off. Again, February 14th through the 19th of 2019. It's in Acapulco, Mexico, a beautiful resort right on the beach. You don't want to miss this. It was a lot of fun for us this year and last year, and I think it's just going to get even better. It's the best, in my opinion, the premier event for libertarians to attend internationally. Go to anarchapulco.com, use code FTL like Free Talk Live. Here's more from the interview of the gentleman in Riverside, California, that's driving around with no driver's license.
Body, a Riverside resident, believes there's too much regulation in government. So he's taken his fight to the road, where all of us spend a lot of time. But Goodbody travels without registration, without a license, and without insurance.
Insurance is a scam.
Knowing police will pull him over,
A couple cameras already running.
he's ready with a camera.
Okay, do you have any idea?
He's got a dash cam, more than one of them. It's good to be prepared.
That's good to have just in general.
Absolutely. Officer says, do you have any identification on here? Here's the audio.
No, I don't carry identification. I follow God's law. You know about God, how He gave us this planet in the Bible.
This is a really good idea right here, is when you're dealing with government bureaucrats specifically, but people you don't want to talk to generally, start talking about the Bible.
Get religious on them.
Talk really deeply about the Bible for a long time, and don't take breaths, because
That might not apply to muggers, which is what traffic stops are.
I'm not sure.
I want to subscribe to this guy's YouTube channel.
Goodbody posts all his
I love
run-ins with the law on his YouTube channel, Freedom from Government.
Oh, I talked to Great Plains before. You watch.
His videos have racked up more
What'd he
than
say there?
18 million views. And
I don't
now
know. He's talking to some cop on a police video.
he's even selling what he uses in lieu
course
of a
he is.
license plate.
These are the tags I use. I'm about to go through Las Vegas right now with them.
The tag reads private, not for commerce use. Private mode of travel. And you can guess, that gets the attention of cops on the road.
Are you recording me?
Yes. If a cop came up to me and asked me for my license, registration, and insurance, I would ask him if he's planning on using any of those against me in court.
Because Goodbody believes in his right to travel freely, he doesn't think he's breaking any laws.
That's an
And he
interesting point, is that you're not supposed to have to provide evidence against yourself.
This guy's pretty sharp. That's why I wanted to share this, because I thought he was a very well-spoken advocate.
I do like his thing where God's my only sovereign, and the idea that you claim to rule me says that you're putting yourself on a plane similar to God, and I find that abhorrent.
Well, that is true, but if I tell that to the Crips, they're not going to care either.
Nope, they're not.
doesn't need to prove himself to police either. Here's audio from a confrontation in Orange County that he recorded.
I don't think that you need to know who I am. Who are you? Can you give me your full legal name?
This is a home confrontation, so he's not in his car in this case.
You guys want something out of me? You got to give me the same thing.
Now, you did this, Mark. You did this to the census taker, where you said to her, if she wants to get information out of you, she's got to give up the same information.
Yeah, she was very nice, and she gave me all the information. She asked me these silly questions, and I got out a legal pad, or it wasn't legal pad, it was a yellow pad. And I don't even know if you can buy legal pads anymore.
You can.
But
I have some on my desk.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
I mean, where do you think lawyers get them?
It was a yellow pad, and I was just writing down the stuff she told me, like she was writing down the stuff I just wanted to show, lampoon how ridiculous it is that people come to your house and ask you all these questions.
Respect. You know what I mean?
Not really, no.
Why?
Because it's different for us.
All men are equal under the law. Is that not true?
Goodbody isn't the only follower of
they
this
cut off the answer to that. I wanted to hear what the cops said to
I gotta
that.
say, I want to find this guy's YouTube channel. Apparently, it's called Freedom from Government.
movement.
I've complied as much as I need to.
There are thousands of people with similar beliefs all across the country.
Bam!
Defying the law.
Some psycho cop just bust, and it's a different video. They didn't use the same video from earlier when I was telling you that at the beginning of the clip they're using a psycho cop busting out a window. This happens more often than you think.
New window, new
and
psycho cop.
posting their own confrontations online.
Are you assaulting me? Are you assaulting me? You're assaulting me.
Different guy, cop reaching through the window, or the driver's side window, to try to arrest the guy through the window, apparently.
Hey, help me. What crime have I committed?
I think that there's been a major awakening in consciousness, and I can't explain why. I just feel like people are finally coming out of their fog.
It's impossible to know how many like-minded people there are across the country because there's no centralized leadership.
Whoa, get out now.
The Southern Poverty Law Center, that would classify them as sovereign, says the movement has been growing at a fast pace since 2000.
I remember when the Southern Poverty Law Center held the government accountable for its actions against, its immoral actions against citizens of the United States. Now what it does, it hunts down people that are
right-wingers.
Yeah, right. That's
or freedom advocates or whatever.
Whatever
they
it
don't
is.
like. Whoever's politically different from them.
They went from protecting people from the government to protecting the government from the people. The Southern Poverty Law Center jumped the shark.
The privilege, not a right.
Some estimates put numbers at several 100,000 to 500,000 people.
You want to push the limit? I'm not trying to push the limit.
I feel like the police have been misinformed to go out and generate revenue off of the people that are supposed to be protecting and serving.
This guy, I mean, he nails it. Every little clip, right? Like when you're doing an interview with the media, they're going to try to take you out of context. They're going to, put in whatever it is you've said that makes you look bad or whatever. And there's really every clip of the interview of this guy, he's like spot on with principle. He's communicating very, very well. We're going to continue here. Your calls and thoughts are certainly welcome, whether you want to talk about refusing to obey the state. We can get into that coming up here if you want to jump in. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Also, the Discord on-air call-in line room over at discord.lrn.fm. By the way, the dude's name, Trent Goodbody. More coming up.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dinovite.
Dinovite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggo Suds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggo Sud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggo Suds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dinovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Heart-related health problems affect millions of people each year. Maybe you're one of the many who suffer from issues related to angina pain, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, unbalanced cholesterol, irregular heartbeat, or clogged arteries. There is a solution that doesn't involve expensive prescription drugs that only mask the problem and leave you with horrible side effects. If you are ready to live your life free of sickness, pain, and fear, live your life with increased vitality, energy, and youthfulness, and experience your body healing itself, then you're ready for Heart and Body Extract from Healthy Hearts Club. Here is what one satisfied customer had to say about Heart and Body Extract regarding his angina pain.
I haven't had an angina pain since I've been on it. The Heart Body Extract is just so great. I thank God that I was led to this product that's doing so much for me and that can do so much for other people.
Call to order your 2-month supply of Heart and Body Extract today. Call 1-866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up what you want. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. You can join the Free Talk Live AMP program and support what we do here, spreading the ideas of liberty, peace, cryptocurrency. We talk about them 7 nights a week here on Free Talk Live. If you like what we're doing, you like the fact that we're on 190 radio stations, AM and FM, across the United States and beyond, and you like the fact that we're spreading the ideas of freedom on the internet as well, then please get behind the show. Go to amp.freetalklive.com. You'll get some cool perks. So, like, for instance, amplifiers get access to the Discord AMP-only chat rooms. So there's Discord, which has a bunch of great chat rooms, but the amplifiers and other supporters of the show get special access to special chat rooms there. Plus, there's other things, including the Amplifier Facebook group, which is still a thing, and there's still apparently quite a bit of action in that group. Mark will be handling adding people to the Facebook group from now on, which reminds me, Mark...
Did Facebook finally ban you full on?
No, I actually deactivated my account this week.
You can't do that.
Yes, you can. You just can't delete the account.
Okay, so you can sign out of the account.
No. You can deactivate it, which means if you try to find me, it's not going to work. So you cannot pull up my profile anymore.
Okay,
but if I log back
into
the
Facebook account, people
Correct.
who've never
if you log back
created
in,
a Facebook account still have a Facebook account.
That's what I'm saying. You've deactivated the account. It's not accessible by the people on Facebook when it's deactivated, but they still have all your account information. So
in order to delete your Facebook account, you have to tell them you want it deleted, and then you have to die.
Correct. You have to tell them you want it to be deleted.
But you have to do both of those things.
Correct. You have to tell them in advance that you would like them to delete your account when somebody else gives them proof that you have died. It's the only time they will delete a Facebook account. It's insane.
And I don't even know if I believe that.
Right? Well, again, they will still have all the data, somewhere. Anyway, let's continue here. If you want, go to amp.freetalklive.com. You can sign up for the AMP program there. It's $5 a month. You can use credit card. You can use PayPal as well as Bitcoin BTC over at amp.freetalklive.com. Back to the story from Fox 11 Los Angeles, where they interview a gentleman here who is very well spoken. He's probably the best advocate for freedom to travel that I've ever seen interviewed in the media. This guy's just spot on with the things that he's having to say. His name is Trent Goodbody, spelled Goodbaudy. His YouTube channel is called Freedom from Government, as we continue here with Fox 11.
Protecting and serving.
You might be surprised to hear Goodbody isn't anti-government. He doesn't support building a wall because that would represent government restricting people's travel.
We didn't make this land. We came here and we invaded it just like anybody else would.
He just wants to be free with what he views as his natural-born rights.
As long as I'm not doing any harm or causing any property damage, I should be able to do what I want. It's America,
Boom! Absolutely.
Minus that it's America part.
Well,
that
that's
doesn't have
pandering.
anything to do with it.
Well, it's pandering. I mean, it's okay to say that.
See, these people are not anarchists, though. They're
this guy
scientists.
is.
I'm pretty sure this guy is.
This guy is.
I've heard the
YouTube
rhetoric.
channel is called Freedom from Government, and every word that's come out of his mouth, one of us would have said on the air here on Free Talk Live.
Except it's America.
Well, yeah, but
I've said it.
He's pandering. He knows who he's talking to. He's talking to a general audience. Whoever it is that's going to watch this in Los Angeles, there's still some people out there that still have that feeling of, hey, something was supposed to be special about this, and it hasn't really worked out in America.
It's supposed to be a free country.
But until the rules of the road change...
Really, all we need is 1 million people to do the same thing and get out here and travel and know how to talk to the cops. We would be a force to be reckoned with.
Goodbody and those who agree with him will continue their battle.
I do not consent.
Armed with their cameras and ready to document what they see as government abuse.
This is thuggery. What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on?
Yeah, so a little bit of advice. Try to keep your voice under control in these circumstances. It's that yelling that makes for good copy for the news, whoever gets it.
You say this as a person who has a hard time keeping under control in these circumstances.
Well, I don't do this kind of activism.
I think most humans have a hard time keeping their voice under control while they're being beaten by someone with a license to kill.
They're going to do better if they think about it ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing this kind of activism, you're thinking about it ahead of time. And all I'm saying is if you can, keep it under control as much as you can. And look, I went through a border checkpoint. I kept my voice under control. But for me, everybody else is like, they still complain about things.
Oh, yeah, they just hate the fact that you refuse. They hate the fact that you just don't go along to get along like everybody else does. Let's continue. There's a little bit more here.
Goodbody knows what he does comes with great risk. He has been arrested several times and has served short stints in jail. Luckily, he says he hasn't been in any major accidents, but he says if he was, he would pay out of his pocket for any damage.
Well, Christine, he makes money by selling his license plates and working as a reverend. While he doesn't believe in carrying a license or insurance, he does believe in following the rules of the road. And apparently very important that they videotape everything, because we saw lots of that tonight.
A bit of a...
I got to say, and that's the end of the story here, this is the most fair news report I've ever seen on, the freedom to travel. Normally, certainly the average person looking at this probably thinks he's a kook, but
right, probably.
But it's not because of anything Fox really did here. They didn't
need to.
Well, no, they could have done a real hack job on this, and they didn't. They allowed him to say what he had to say. They gave him plenty of clips. Like, it wasn't just one little brief, 10-second clip. It was multiple clips interspersed throughout this. They actually they really did a good job producing and editing this.
Yeah, it's a good piece.
There were probably at least 20 different clips of different people being just attacked on the side of the road and yelled at and threatened and windows bashed in by psychotic cops. So, they really did. I got to say, kudos to Fox 11 in Los Angeles for this, and kudos to this guy for doing what he said. The only thing I disagree with is his theory that if we just get 1 million of us out there on the roads, and then we'll show them. No.
Yeah, 1 million people getting pulled over is not going to accomplish anything.
Right. Well, if your theory relies on you getting 1 million people to do anything, you're
failed.
In trouble.
Right. So the dude maybe has never heard of the freedom migration, and maybe I should reach out to him and
Yeah, I think you should.
And see, because he sounds like he should be in New Hampshire, not in California. And if people actually did what he was talking about doing, which is to say, refuse to obey the state, they ought to come together. Because if you refuse to obey the state and you're all alone, you're going down, buddy. You're going to get arrested.
And you also need to refuse to obey if you have enough people to do that. You also need to refuse to obey the state on things like theft and kidnapping, not on things like having registration.
When you say theft and kidnapping, what do you mean?
So when taxes and arrests.
Right, refusing to pay taxes. Sure. I imagine this guy also refuses to pay taxes. He seems to be that kind of person, which is why we need him in New Hampshire.
Right, he didn't get enough trouble from the government by not paying taxes, so he had to go out and ride around without a license plate on his car.
Well, he's also a reverend, so I would presume he doesn't pay taxes. But regardless, you get people like this together in the same place.
I think preachers have to pay taxes on their income. The church doesn't have to pay taxes on its revenue, whatever term. Okay. I don't want to use a legal term.
I wouldn't know anything about that because as a true preacher, you probably shouldn't be making income. You should probably just be living off of whatever the church provides to you to live. But that's my opinion. Regardless, if people who want to oppose the state, if people who want to stand up for freedom are willing to do this, ballsy activism, recording the police, I fully support this. I fully support, holding a video camera up in any police encounter, holding them accountable. I'm a longtime supporter of copblock.org, for instance. So I think this is all good activism. But if it's just you and you're the only person in your region, the only person in your city or your area that's doing this stuff,
you're just a kook.
You're a drop in the bucket. And to them, you will just be rolled right over top of, and you mean nothing. It's not going to change the system. It's not going to inspire anybody else to join you. But if there were 500,000 of these people and 1% of them came to New Hampshire, 5,000 of these so-called sovereign citizens, or whatever term you want to use, freedom to travel activists, you would give the New Hampshire court system a real hard time. Because if everybody who is a freedom to travel, or not everybody, but a good portion of freedom to travel activists were doing that activism in one geographic area and then challenging it in court and clogging up the court system, we've had the courts.
And talking to the legislatures to get rules passed or whatever too.
The court we've got a sovereign who's a state rep here in New Hampshire. His name's Dick Marple.
Yes, it's true.
YouTube search for Dick Marple in court, and you will watch this guy in action. So there's stuff like this happening here. If you come together, as we are doing in New Hampshire, there's so much more that's possible. Not just stuff like this, but political action becomes feasible. It becomes successful. You actually have a community of people who agree with you on stuff. I mean, it's incredible. So I recommend you learn more about moving to New Hampshire if you're a liberty-minded person. Go to 101reasonsfilm.com. That's 101reasonsfilm.com. It's 101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire. It's already one of the freest places on the planet, and it's only going to get better the more libertarians and voluntarists and liberty-loving anarchists come here. All right, we'll see you tomorrow night. freetalklive.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, August 27th, 2018. Silver is trading at $14.80 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,206 per ounce. Zen is trading at $19, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,740. Antiwar.com reports the Chinese Foreign Ministry has issued a statement criticizing President Trump's decision to cancel Mike Pompeo's trip to North Korea and his statement blaming China for the move. They called it an irresponsible claim contrary to basic facts. On Friday, President Trump canceled Pompeo's planned visit to North Korea